This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Welcome to DBL. It's Thursday, November 11th. I'm Tori, and I'm here with Erica and Al. And today is Veterans Day. And if you're a veteran out there watching, we want to say thank you for your service. We want to honor all of those who have served and sacrificed on behalf of our nation, our veterans, and of course, their families and friends. Now, earlier today, the president attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington National Cemetery. Today's ceremony also included a centennial commemoration of the site. And for the first time in nearly 100 years, the public was allowed to lay flowers at the tomb this week. The tomb has been a final resting place for 3 unknown U.S. service members and has also served as a symbolic grave for unidentified and missing American soldiers. It's near my hometown. I've visited. It is incredibly beautiful and sacred and hallowed. And just so you know, there is always a senior member of the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment holding guard. They are never alone since 1948, ever. Yeah. Happy Veterans Day. You guys have any veterans in your family?
I know, Erica, your dad, right? My dad was.
Yes, my father. I believe we have a photo.
Oh, Roosevelt.
That's, Roosevelt cop, Air Force Staff Sergeant.
Is there any other name that man can have but Roosevelt cop? Do his friends call him Rosie?
When he was in a bowling league, yes, they called him Rosie.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And Al, you went on USO tours?
I did a couple USO tours as a comic, and it was just great being over in Germany. That's at the bottom. That's me in Ramstein, Germany, Camp Bonsteels in Kosovo.
Wow.
Those are all 18-year-olds that had only been there for a couple weeks. So it was good to give them a little taste of home, and they gave you a pin at every base you went to. So it was a big deal.
Wow.
Life-changing tour.
Amazing. All right, we do have an update in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse. A lot of you wrote into the show who he is on trial for killing 2 people and injuring a 3rd during unrest last summer, if you remember, in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, the judge overseeing the trial said he would rule later on a request for a mistrial from the defense attorneys. This comes after the 18-year-old took the stand yesterday and broke down sobbing. Now, a lot of folks had some very strong reactions, including the sole survivor who was shot by Rittenhouse in the arm. Here's what he told GMA earlier today.
I think anytime you see your would-be murderer on the stand, it's emotional. To me, it seemed like a child who had just gotten caught doing something that he wasn't supposed to. More upset that he was caught and less upset about what he had done and what he had taken and the numerous lives that he affected.
LeBron James also weighed in, tweeting, "What tears? I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court." It seemed like crocodile tears to me. It seemed like a fully staged theatrical performance. They got a recess right afterwards. It just seemed very, very staged, and it seemed fake and phony to me. It might have worked for a juror or 2. It didn't work for me.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday watching that, and I was like, I can't make sense out of nonsense.
Right.
Like, it is absolutely nonsensical. And, you know, I don't have children, but I nannied for several years. And when those types of, you know, that like working yourself up type thing, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a very serious situation. I know that a lot of people were, you know, making fun of him yesterday, but the truth is that 2 people lost their lives and 1 is gravely injured, or, you know, very profoundly injured. And it's not a joking matter, but obviously this is being used as some type of performance tool.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the whole thing, Erica, strikes me as performative, and
theatrical.
and it seems like it's kind of been happening from the top down. This happened obviously when Trump was in office. He did not comment on it. Then Trump Jr. said, you know, at 17 we all do kind of silly things. When he finally turned himself in, he was bailed out for $2 million, crowdfunded. And when he came out, he was wearing a T-shirt that said "free as," and I cannot finish the rest of that. And again, the judge did not allow that picture to be shown. There's video of him 2 weeks before he ended up killing those people in front of a CVS saying, "I want to get my gun and kill those people." The judge did not allow that video either. We're talking about performance. I think what we're seeing is the setting up for the exoneration of him, and I'm calling it now. I think he's going to be the new face of the alt-right.
I have to be honest with you, Al.
He already has been throwing up white supremacy signs at bars.
As a martyr, he completely is, and I completely agree with you. The judge also, and I'm trying to watch it as like an unbiased legal mind, seems incredibly one-sided for the defense. I mean, incredibly.
The prosecutor asked him why he had an AR-15 with him across state lines, and the judge said that they were not allowed to ask him that question.
It's been confounding many people as to why the judge has been continually giving better, reasonable access to the defense rather than the prosecution, and that's coming from a lot of people. Write us in what you think. I'd love to hear from you on YouTube or our app. We also have a quick update on what Matthew McConaughey said yesterday about vaccinating his kids that got us all in a tussle.
I like that suit.
He looks great. He always does. All right. He clarified on Instagram that he's not against vaccinating children. Okay. He says his eldest son, 13-year-old Levi, is fully vaccinated.
I don't know what we're talking about with vaccinations, Eric. Are we talking about just COVID, or are we talking about mumps and rubella?
No, I mean, we're in this conversation. We're talking about the COVID vaccine. Right. I said yesterday, you know, he's clearly splitting the baby because I mean, it really. I know that you cannot have this conversation in this climate without it automatically being either one thing or another. But I do believe that a lot of people are having this conversation the same way. He is fully vaccinated. His wife is fully vaccinated. Their eldest son is fully vaccinated. He has younger children. They're having a different conversation about that. As I said earlier, I'm not a parent. I don't feel like maybe throwing myself into this discussion of what you should be doing with your children is any more appropriate than people throwing themselves into the discussion on what I should be doing right now either.
Do you think it all, though, was a backtrack because of the temperature check he got? Some backlash and realized maybe this wasn't the best.
But in the totality of the interview, he says all these things. Right. It's just that the hot topics were what the clips that were shown and people reacting to it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that this is, you know, shocking breaking news.
Interesting. I wonder what you guys think. If you think he's backtracking or not, let us know. Coming up on DBL, a Marine survives a traumatic brain injury while in combat. The path he carved to save his own life and others. You don't want to miss this special Veterans Day story.
What a guy.
Oh my gosh, right? And Luke Bryan makes a vaccine joke that falls terribly flat. We're chatting about the most memorable moments from last night's Country Music Awards. Oh boy.
Closed captioning provided by
You guys know what happened to the judge? Did you hear about this?
You're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse. The judge's phone started to ring in the middle of it, and the ringtone was "Proud to be American." It's the same ringtone that, not that this means anything, but it does mean everything, that Trump walks out to. And he was slightly embarrassed and put it down, and then he highly admonished the prosecutor in front of everyone. And some people are saying so much so that it prejudiced the jurors, and screamed at the prosecutor, "How could you do this? What were you thinking?"
He
blah, blah, blah.
screamed? I just read it. I didn't.
And he was like, "Why would you think you could do this?" Now, the other side would say he did bring up that Kyle Rittenhouse remained silent before the court, and that's a constitutional right, and the judge was sort of doing that. But at one point, the prosecutor asked to pinch and zoom on some video, and the defense attorney said, "That alters the image with artificial imagery and algorithms." Now, that sentence doesn't even make sense. And the other guy said that there's no basis for you to say that. And the judge goes, "Well, I'm too old to know. So until we get a witness here to say that that is not an altered image for this Apple product or the iPad, then we can't play it." And he was like, "No one has any consensus or you were just on your iPhone. That doesn't change the pixels. It doesn't change the program." And he goes, "Well, I don't know that. I can't be sure of that."
Yeah, what? My ears perked up when he said that you couldn't refer to them as victims. But I mean, it's just however you feel about this case. It's almost like when you watch a sporting event. I don't want to see
like the ref. Yeah.
I feel like the ref is so much of this story so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be different if it was a bench trial.
Yep.
Then yeah, the ref would be front and center. I don't know. It just seems like the lack of awareness and evolution is being somehow like made okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
and he's
no,
giving all the recesses to the defense, like all the little things that can add up, he's giving to the defense. So that's. Welcome back to DBL. Hey, y'all. The Cma Awards were back in full force last night. I've always wanted to go. Did you know? Okay. The show opened with host Luke Bryan taking a jab at Aaron Rodgers. Take a look.
We're following all the health protocols to keep everyone safe. And it is so great to be here with all my fellow artists, tested and together. Or immunized. Who is it? Just playing.
Okay, the cameras then went to Carrie Underwood, who gave us a little side eye right there. Her husband, former NHL star Mike Fisher, has defended Aaron's decision not to get vaccinated. Carrie lost out to Luke Combs for the big Entertainer of the Year award. Other notable moments, TJ Osborne kissed his boyfriend after winning Vocal Duo of the Year. He came out as gay earlier this year. Jimmy Allen got emotional after being named New Artist of the Year. He is only the second Black country artist to get the award. And Mickey Guyton performed her song, Love My Hair, with Brittany Spencer and Madeline Edwards. The song was inspired by Faith Vanity, who was sent home because her braided hair violated her school's hair policy in Louisiana. Erica, the Crown Act,
Yeah, they talked about
And
the
tell
Crown
everybody what the
Act.
Crown Act is.
Crown stands for creating a world that's openly, openly an open world. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, that's so
basically wear your
embarrassing.
hair?
No discrimination against hair in the
Respect
workplace.
for natural, for your natural hair.
That's right.
The Crown Act aims to make discrimination against your natural hair illegal for workplace, schools, and housing. It's still trying to be passed in many different states. I have to say, I was really kind of like just stuck on this performance because one of our viewers, Deb, sent this to me early this morning, and I was absolutely in tears. It made me so emotional. Oh, wow. I worked in country radio for a small period of time. This was when Mickey, there was this push to, I guess, to make some evolution in country music and country radio. Side note, she is not played in any country stations across the country. And I just thought this was such an incredibly pivotal moment. And I was really appreciative to our viewer, Deb, who sent that to me this morning.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
what'd you think?
I just think, the world is opening up and evolving, and I'm sure there's some old school country fans that's like, I don't want to see it on my screen, but that's how it's always been. The world keeps kind of rolling along, and there was a time where people were like, I don't want to see black men playing baseball. And
women
now we don't
having a credit card?
With all that stuff, all those people, they had their feelings, and we kept rolling along, and just seeing this award show just lets me know in 10 years this will not be a big deal. Mm-hmm. But it's good to see the first year.
It really is, as they rode off into the sunset.
There we go. And shout out to what was his name with that outfit, the pink, the
Jimmy
Allen.
What an outfit.
That's coming from Fashion Jackson. You can't wear that tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Nothing.
Veterans Day and Memorial Day both honor those who served our country, with one main difference. Memorial Day honors military members who have died, while Veterans Day recognizes the service and sacrifice of all America's veterans. Then there's the date. Memorial Day changes because it's observed on the last Monday in May. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is always November 11th. Here's why. Veterans Day originally came out of World War I. Although the war technically ended with the Treaty of Versailles, the fighting stopped months earlier. the Allied nations and Germany agreed to a truce that took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month back in 1918. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th Armistice Day. In 1926, Congress made a formal declaration calling for a celebration of peace. 28 years later, Congress changed the name to Veterans Day, making sure it honored all American veterans, not just those who served in World War I. And that's connecting the dots. For 9 years more.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No! I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop, I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop. I know. You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control? There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back. This next story is a special one that we're happy to share on Veterans Day. Richard Casper is a celebrated U.S. Marine who suffered a traumatic brain injury during combat in Iraq. At his lowest point of recovery, he decided to change his path and fight a different fight, one for his fellow brothers dealing with the after effects of war. Here's his incredible story.
After 9/11, that's when I was a junior. I saw those towers fall, and I just said, you know what? I want to be the first person overseas.
Richard Casper joined the military at 17, ready to fight for his country.
I went to Fallujah, Iraq in 2006, 2007 with 1st Tanks. Within the first 4 months of me being in Iraq, my Humvee was blown up 4 separate times, which led to a left traumatic brain injury, and then my buddy was shot and killed beside me. They said I wasn't allowed to work anymore. I was unfit for duty. When I transitioned back home, I didn't know anything was wrong with me. I knew I had migraines for like months straight. I went to college for business at this community college. That's where I found all my injuries. I started going to school and I started failing all my classes. And so that's when I knew there was an issue and when I was going downhill fast. And that's when I got diagnosed with my left traumatic brain injury, my PTSD. And so that's when I was even more down in the dump. What I tell people is if 0 was killing myself and 100 was me before war, I was at a 9 at my lowest point, and then I discovered art and music.
But Richard found a creative way to fight through the depression.
So I used to doodle all the time. I used to draw. How about I get an easy degree in art? And that's what ended up changing my life, that decision, because in the art classes is where I actually learned how to tell my story without telling my story. And I said, you know what? I want to create a nonprofit out of this because I think so many veterans are going to benefit from telling their story.
Taking matters into his own hands, he launched Creative Vets to offer support and relief to those who have sacrificed for our country. The program uses forms of arts to help veterans cope.
If we can get this music out to the people, to the veterans, we're going to save so many more veterans' lives just by them listening to our music, letting them know that they're not alone out there.
I'm so excited about our next guest. He is a Purple Heart recipient and one of Time Magazine's Next Generation Leaders. Please give a hero's welcome to DBL, Richard Casper.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us. And definitely thank you for your service. We celebrate veterans and their service every day, but especially on Veterans Day. So what does this day mean to you?
In my world now, every day is Veterans Day. And so this is just another one of those days that we really get to highlight and that the world's actually listening to us.
Richard, we're thankful for you again.
Amen.
Thank you for your service. Could you tell us about the day in Iraq that changed your life?
Yeah, well, multiple days changed my life. The major one was where my buddy was shot and killed beside me on December 14th in 2006. But then on top of that, there was 4 other days where my Humvee was blown up. So I ended up with a left traumatic brain injury. But honestly, now that I look back on them, they're not blessings, but they are what started the process, which started my healing, which now heals a bunch of veterans through the process.
So, I'm going to ask you to take us there. You're struggling with school and you're struggling with your healing, but then you discovered art therapy. Like, how did that save your life?
So when I transitioned out of the Marine Corps, struggling not to be able to speak in front of people anymore, not being able to go to job interviews because my anxiety and depression were so bad, I thought maybe an art degree would be a cop-out. But art 100% changed my life.
So when was the moment that you decided to create Creativets?
So I graduate from the school there in Chicago. I'm almost fully back to normal. I wrote a song in Nashville that helped me express what I was going through that way. So I have a song, I have my art, and I'm ready to tackle the world. And then I look back and I say, wait, is any other Marine or combat vet gonna do what I just did? So then the next step, I started searching. Are there organizations that do this? There wasn't. There was nobody enrolling veterans into these art schools, bringing them to Nashville to write songs. And so I knew we had to do this.
I love it. Richard, tell us about this amazing collaboration with one of Nashville's biggest labels and country music stars.
Oh my gosh, this has been a dream come true since we started. I remember my first board meeting say, could you imagine that we release veteran-created music for veterans by veterans, in which people could listen to this music, royalties comes back to our organization to keep bringing veterans to do this, and the veteran who told their story gets money coming back to them to show that their story is important and it's worth something. So now by partnering with Big Machine Records and putting top-tier artists on our songs, when a veteran's sitting at their home just looking for someone to connect with and they find a random song and it sounds like Justin Moore, and they look at the artist and they say, wait, this is Creativets featuring Justin Moore, and they search us, they find out that we'll pay for their flights, their food, their housing from anywhere in the country to us. We're legitimately reaching in the homes and pulling them out through these partnerships with Big Machine Records.
Oh
you are a godsend, Richard. You truly are. Some people are just born to serve.
Right.
I mean, you were serving in the military, now you're serving and you're saving lives. It's an honor to meet you.
Yes.
And to our viewers out there, you can make a donation at creativets.org. And the music is available across all major streaming platforms and digital retailers. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Diabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 American adults are pre-diabetic, but the CDC says more than 84% of those people don't know they have it. A simple blood sugar test will tell you if you're pre-diabetic. The problem is, many people aren't getting tested for it. Dr. Griffin Rogers, director of the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive, and Kidney Diseases at the NIH, says undiagnosed and untreated prediabetes can develop into even worse health conditions.
If you have prediabetes, within the next 5 to 10 years, you have a 50% chance of developing frank diabetes.
If patients aren't getting tested for prediabetes, then is there another way for people to know if they're pre-diabetic? Let's verify. Our sources are the CDC, the American Diabetes Association, Dr. Michael Berry, Vice Chair of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, and Dr. Griffin Rogers. Our sources say the short answer is no. There's not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. But according to the CDC, some people are more at risk for prediabetes than others, including being 45 years or older, having a parent, brother, or sister with type 2 diabetes, and or being physically active less than 3 times a week. According to the American Diabetes Association, quote, there are no clear symptoms of prediabetes, so you may have it and not know it. But before people develop type 2 diabetes, they almost always have prediabetes, unquote.
The task force recommends that for adults aged 35 to 70 who have overweight or obesity, that they be screened for diabetes and prediabetes.
So we can verify, no, there is not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. So if you want to know, just ask for a test at your next appointment. With your Verify, I'm Adiande Till.
There is, it's a palpable sense of urgency this year among employers who are looking for seasonal workers.
This year, employers are trying hard to convince you to work for them. Want proof? Just look at jobsiteindeed.com. More than 10% of seasonal job postings there mention urgently hiring. Last year, those words only appeared on 1% of postings. Workers are still in short supply. Some are taking their time getting back into the workforce after either getting laid off during the pandemic or quitting. And frankly, It pays to be choosy. If you're looking for a side hustle this holiday, keep an eye out for how an employer is sweetening the pot. Amazon, for example, is offering a signing bonus of $3,000 in some locations, plus an extra $3 an hour for working certain shifts. The bottom line, do your research and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. The extra money you make will help. The holiday season will be more expensive because of product shortages, among other things. And that's connecting the dots.
Not going to believe the incredible discounts Steph showed me earlier from our friends at Morning Save. Check it out. All right, what do you have for us today, Steph?
First up, we've got Had a Neon stainless steel personal blender deal. So it includes one blender, 2 different blending cups, and 2 travel lids. And the blender features 3 adjustable speeds. So normally it's $53. We've got it, Tori, for only $25, saving our viewers 53%. Now, Tori, it's time to get your teeth clean with Fairy Will Electric Toothbrush Duo Set, where you will get 2 bases, 8 brush heads, 2 interdental heads, and 2 cases. So this set has a 2-minute smart timer that pauses every 30 seconds. It's got 5 high-performance brush modes that suit everyone's teeth and gums. So normally it's $100.
Okay, I mean, that's still good.
But we've got it, Tori, for only $49, which means our viewers save up to 51%. Now, this next product is absolutely genius. It is a 2-pack of Estelle Rechargeable Vanity lights.
Whoa.
So this deal includes 2 vanity lights with 2 USB cords and 2 suction cup holders. So normally it's as much as $46.
Okay, kind of pricey. A little
But
bit.
now it's $19.
Oh, that's great.
Saving 59%. Okay, and last, but certainly not least, we've got double dip fall or holiday nail dip starter kit.
Oh, I love dip.
I know, so you'll get 6 dip powders for your DIY nails, as well as applicators to make this a professional salon look. So great nails are as simple as coat, dip, file, and shine. Normally, these are as much as $90, but we've got it, Tori, for $35, saving 61%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. Again, thank you so much, Steph. Delicious and yummy stuff.
What'd you like the best?
The toothbrush. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.
November 11th is when the country thanks those who served our nation. But does Veterans Day honor active duty service members? Let's verify. Our sources are the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the USO. Veterans Day got its start in 1938 when Congress made Armistice Day an official holiday to honor those who fought in World War I. Eventually, veterans of later wars lobbied Congress to recognize them, too. In 1954, Congress officially renamed Armistice Day Veterans Day. As its name implies, Veterans Day is only intended to recognize veterans, who are people who have previously served in the military, not those on active duty. The VA explains Veterans Day is largely intended to thank and acknowledge living veterans, although those who have passed away are also remembered on Veterans Day. Those who died while serving are honored on Memorial Day. So it's false that Veterans Day honors active duty service members. Instead, the USO says that's what Armed Forces Day is for on the 3rd Sunday of May. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control?
There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Could Kyle Rittenhouse walk free? Why the defense is demanding a mistrial. A Marine survives a traumatic brain injury while in combat. His incredible story of getting his life back.
If 0 was killing myself and 100 was me before war, I was at a 9.
And joining us live today, Allison Sweeney and Alfonso Ribeiro.
My gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, November 11th. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica, and today is Veterans Day, and we want to honor all those who have served and sacrificed on behalf of our nation, our veterans, and of course their family and friends. Earlier today, the president attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the tomb of the unknown soldier in Arlington National Cemetery. Today's ceremony also included a centennial commemoration of the site. And for the first time in nearly 100 years, the public was allowed to lay flowers at the tomb this week. The tomb has been a final resting place for 3 unknown U.S. service members and has also served as a symbolic grave for unidentified or missing American soldiers. And I just want to say on behalf of our panel, this day is very special to all of us. It's all of our fathers have served on behalf of our country, and to all of our viewers out there that had served or are presently serving or know someone or related to someone, we just want to thank you. So we do have an update in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, who is on trial for killing 2 people and injuring a third during unrest last summer in Kenosha, Wisconsin. So the judge overseeing the trial said he would rule later on a request for a mistrial from defense attorneys. This comes after the 18-year-old took the stand yesterday and broke down sobbing. A lot of folks had some very strong reactions, including the sole survivor who was shot by Rittenhouse in the arm. Here's what he told GMA earlier today.
I think anytime you see your would-be murderer on the stand, it's emotional. To me, it seemed like a child who had just gotten caught doing something that he wasn't supposed to. More upset that he was caught and less upset about what he had done and what he had taken and the numerous lives that he affected.
LeBron James also weighed in, tweeting, "What tears? I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court." Now, a lot of people are making jokes of it because sometimes when you have such a serious situation, you need some levity, especially if you think you're calling it for what it is. Do you agree with LeBron James?
Well, I think we all watched that video just like we watched the video of him actually committing the act. And, you know, you can choose to see what your eyes or believe what your eyes are seeing, or you can cultivate a story that contextualizes it better for whatever your needs or agenda might be. You know, we saw this yesterday. It was very fresh. I said I can't make sense out of nonsense. I stand behind that statement. And I appreciate the actual victim speaking out, because I think a lot of times when we see these stories, we forget about the victims and how their families and friends must feel. So I think that part is very important to this entire story.
Yeah, it becomes a spectacle, and it's almost that's what it's becoming already. We're only a couple days in, right? We lose the meaning of what is at stake in a lot of these stories, and it's just, is he guilty? Is he innocent? Even if there's a video, it's up to these lawyers that find some sort of loophole in the back door, and then the person walks or they get locked up. It's like, right. I don't know if we should be airing all this, and not this in particular. I'm saying in general, to start making it a spectacle that it is. That's just.
I mean, Jeff, you hit it on the head. We're in the era where video doesn't even matter, and it's because none of it matters. Erica, Sam, Jeff. I think that the fact that we're even talking about this shows you we're already so partisan that as soon as you sit down, before the video even plays, you already have a narrative in your head of what is happening. What is he? Is he a murderer or a vigilante? Is he a lost teenager, or is he the face of the alt-right? So it's like, how are we looking at this video? Is besides the point. This could air in 10 years, you're going to feel the same way. So there's a sadness that there are no facts anymore. It's just how you feel, and you're just already that's what it is, and you cannot have your mind changed. And I think that's a scary place for a lot of us to be.
And a lot of people say everybody deserves their day in court. Everybody is innocent and presumed guilty. What frustrated me was you mentioned victims. They're not even allowed to use those words in court, per the judge. That, to me, is such a slap in the face on our democracy and what justice really is. If everybody's supposed to have their fair day in court, then how come the victims don't have their fair day in court? We're not even allowed to call them victims in the court of law. If I was that mother mourning my son who's buried and knowing that in the court of law, televised in front of the entire nation, they're not labeled as a victim after their life was taken from them, I would not believe in our justice system. And I know a lot of people feel that very way, and I'll leave it at that. So we have a quick update on what Matthew McConaughey said yesterday about vaccinating his kids. He clarified on Instagram that he's not against vaccinating children. He says his eldest son, 13-year-old Levi, is fully vaccinated for COVID-19. So there you go. We talked about this yesterday, Jeff. You had a very strong stance. You felt like people were mislabeling Matthew McConaughey without hearing the whole story.
Well, I think they mislabel everybody. They just want to take people down. Speaking of spectacle, that's what this is, right? Asking a question as a concerned citizen, as a concerned parent, as a concerned neighbor, is questioning what people's beliefs are, right? And I'm saying this in general. Obviously, Matthew, would you say he was being a concerned father just by asking a question?
Right. Look, Jeff, you're talking about asking a question or something financial in terms of clickbait, and that's where we are.
Yeah.
You were on this with the Jason Momoa story when he was asked that question about his character in Game of Thrones, and you called that out months ago. And here we are with that same issue. And unfortunately, journalism and the reporter is in a position where if Erica walks in and says, this is my headline for this story, her editor might say, change that, or no one's going to look at this. So we're in this weird thing where the journalists have to have clickbait to keep their job. And unfortunately, the victim is the interviewee. And so who's at fault here? The journalist is trying to keep a roof over their head, or the person that's answering a question honestly? I think it's just a shame when capitalism is always going to run head into honesty, and this is where we're going to be.
I think you'd be an honest journalist without feeding someone's narrative. And I think that's what you get not paid more for, but unfortunately you get these social points in the media, right? And you're like, oh, look, I took down Matthew McConaughey when there's nothing to take down. And that's where we're at. Tomorrow it'll be someone else.
Good conversations. Do not go away. Our interview with actress Allison Sweeney coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Yeah, so we're talking about clickbait and, the interviewer, the interviewee, all these things. I just feel like it really goes to the lack of, attention span that audiences truly have. There's a reason why the segments that, TikTok had grown in such large popularity, because it's very small sound bites, because our attention spans are so short. So I don't think it's in fault of journalism. First of all, I don't like just blanketly saying journalism, because I have tried to drive home the point that everyone who has a platform and everyone who's in media are not journalists. We overuse that word, and I think it is feeding the flames of what has now been referred to as fake news. We have to understand where the credibility lies and who has a journalistic integrity, meaning their bias cannot be involved, meaning that they have to present both sides of the story and contextualize the events at hand. So when we say it's the journalist or the interview, it's like such a broad span, because there are so many platforms that are very one-sided, intentionally one-sided, and are meant to be in an echo chamber. That's called editorial, not journalism. So I think that's very important to say, but it really does come down to the attention span of our demographics. We're just not in it for that long.
Yeah.
What's that? I don't know.
A love note from Christmas past.
Dear Nikki.
But who sent it?
Hey, aren't you curious? Oh, of course, I'm curious.
Could it be him?
You just found it?
Or him?
Oh. What?
It's a holiday mystery.
Yes, that's exactly what I love to watch on a Sunday night. Welcome back to DBL, best known as Sammy Brady on Days of Our Lives and as the presenter on Biggest Loser. Is there anything this actress, director, author, and TV host can't do? Today, we're going to chat with TV legend Allison Sweeney.
Yes.
Hey.
What a career.
Thank you. My gosh, what an introduction.
Well, it's true. I mean, you're holiday royalty at Hallmark. I watch every single one of your holiday movies. So is the holiday season especially magical for you and your family? Do I even see a snowman decoration already in the background?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready. I love the holidays. They're my favorite time of year. I love everything about it. I love all the traditions. So being a part of the Hallmark Countdown to Christmas has been so fun because you just get to extend the holiday magic.
Allison, we're two in the same. I also put up my Christmas decorations, me and my wife, so I appreciate you for that. And I also heard you wanted to be on The Amazing Race. You auditioned for it a couple of years ago. I was actually on it, so if you want to send me your tape, I know some people over there.
Yeah, you have a hookup. I love that show.
That was a complete
by the way,
joke.
I hate to tell you, I put my audition tape in like a decade ago. I've been watching that show since day one.
Would you still do it today, like if they ask you to be on it?
I mean, are you kidding? Yeah, of course I would. I love it. I think about it all the time. Every time I travel, I play the game at the airport of like, could I have gotten there faster? Or what if I know how to drive a stick shift? I feel that's a big plus for me.
Who would your partner be very quickly?
Not my husband. He's not into that.
Great answer.
He would judge us later. My best friend and I talk about it all the time.
I love it.
I feel like that you put that in the universe, it's going to happen.
Yes.
Now, you reunited.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you reunited with friend of the show, Cameron Matheson, in the new Hannah Swenson movie, which is amazing. So we want to know.
Yeah, Cam.
What we have to, because we're going to see him again, we need to know an embarrassing behind the scenes story about Cameron that we can throw in his face.
Yes, yes. Well, if you guys know Cameron, you know how healthy he is as an eater. And my favorite thing about Cameron is he's just such a sincere actor. He works so hard at what we're doing. And nothing brings me more delight than the fact that his character has to eat these cookies and these sweet treats and desserts in the scenes. And, it's not just one take. It's, 3 takes from this camera angle and from other camera angles. And so he finds himself sometimes, I'm not kidding, in sugar shock, like ODing on the amount of sugar and candy and desserts that he eats, and it makes me laugh every time.
Well, if he needs a stand-in or like a body double to eat the cookies, I will come in, eat them,
You're
and
happy
then
to
disappear. It's
take
gonna
one
have to
for
be a
the
quick
team. I appreciate it.
And you look just like
I know, it's going to have to be a weird,
Yes,
and
yeah,
sunglasses on.
Okay, I have to know, what was it like returning to Days of Our Lives after 2 decades to play America's favorite villain, Sammy Brady? And did it feel different, or was it just like coming home?
My God,
It is like coming home because I feel so comfortable, and they're my family, the crew, and as you guys know, you just see people every day, and you just feel like it just feels so welcoming. But I was really nervous because I love what I do. I love being an actor. I love the fans and their reactions, and it matters to me that I deliver, oh, Allie's coming back, Sammy's going to be back. I feel I have to just do. And so I was more nervous the night before, really reading my lines again and hoping it all worked out. I had butterflies in my stomach on the way to work that first day.
That's relatable,
awesome.
though. Okay, so we got to get to your film. And Open by Christmas, your best friend Simone is struggling to let go of her 16-year-old son as he's growing up. Now, your oldest son is 16 years old. So how are you finding it hard to let him get older? I mean, I have a 4-year-old and an 18-month-old, and I'm already like, don't get bigger, don't.
I hate it.
Don't get older. I know. you feel that way every step of the way. And what I love about this movie is that the two best friends are at very different places in their lives and in their romances. And so I think for the viewers, they get a little bit of everything. And the actress Erica Durance, who's so talented to play Simone, she and I had that conversation. She has kids who are older too. And so she really related to that. And we both felt like moms who have these teen sons or teen children, you know, just are really going to identify with that feeling of every holiday, every last one. You're like, you know, you feel yourself holding on to those memories and then making them maybe too precious, maybe sort of, you know, holding on too tight.
Right.
Is the line in the scene where we kind of have that best friend talk where you have to really sort of like tell your friend what's happening. You know, you have to be honest. And that's another part of the movie I love, is just that the depiction of the female friendship in it. But my kid's getting older too, and he drives a car.
You're
and
making me
so
emotional.
nervous.
I know. Like,
I worry about all those things.
Well, we've run out of time. You're going to have to come back and see us. Thank you for joining us today. And to all of our viewers out there, guess what? Open by Christmas premieres November 12th, right around the corner on the Hallmark Channel. So be sure to tune in and watch. Thank you again, Allison.
You were great, Allison.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Veterans Day and Memorial Day both honor those who served our country, with one main difference. Memorial Day honors military members who have died, while Veterans Day recognizes the service and sacrifice of all America's veterans. Then there's the date. Memorial Day changes because it's observed on the last Monday in May. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is always November 11th. Here's why. Veterans Day originally came out of World War I. Although the war technically ended with the Treaty of Versailles, the fighting stopped months earlier. The Allied nations and Germany agreed to a truce that took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month back in 1918. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th Armistice Day. In 1926, Congress made a formal declaration calling for a celebration of peace. 28 years later, Congress changed the name to Veterans Day, making sure it honored all American veterans, not just those who served in World War I. And that's connecting the dots. For 9 News Morning.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control?
There's
no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back. This next story is a special one that we're happy to share on Veterans Day. Richard Casper is a celebrated U.S. Marine who suffered a traumatic brain injury during combat in Iraq. At his lowest point of recovery, he decided to change his path and fight a different fight, one for his fellow brothers dealing with the after effects of war. Here is his incredible story.
After 9/11, that's when I was a junior. I saw those towers fall, and I just said, you know what? I want to be the first person overseas.
Richard Casper joined the military at 17, ready to fight for his country.
I went to Fallujah, Iraq in 2006, 2007 with 1st Tanks. Within the first 4 months of me being in Iraq, my Humvee was blown up 4 separate times, which led to a left traumatic brain injury, and then my buddy was shot and killed beside me. They said I wasn't allowed to work anymore. I was unfit for duty. When I transitioned back home, I didn't know anything was wrong with me. I knew I had migraines for like months straight. I went to college for business at this community college. That's where I found all my injuries. I started going to school and I started failing all my classes. And so that's when I knew there was an issue and when I was going downhill fast. And that's when I got diagnosed with my left traumatic brain injury, my PTSD. And so that's when I was even more down in the dump. What I tell people is if 0 was killing myself and 100 was me before war, I was at a 9 at my lowest point. And then I discovered art and music.
But Richard found a creative way to fight through the depression.
So I used to doodle all the time. I used to draw. How about I get an easy degree in art? And that's what ended up changing my life, that decision, because in the art classes is where I actually learned how to tell my story without telling my story. And I said, you know what? I want to create a nonprofit out of this because I think so many veterans are going to benefit from telling their story.
Taking matters into his own hands, he launched Creative Vets to offer support and relief to those who have sacrificed for our country. The program uses forms of arts to help veterans cope.
If we can get this music out to the people, to the veterans, we're going to save so many more veterans' lives just by them listening to our music, letting them know that they're not alone out there.
I'm so excited about our next guest. He is a Purple Heart recipient and one of Time Magazine's Next Generation Leaders. Please give a hero's welcome to DBL, Richard Casper.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us. And definitely thank you for your service. We celebrate veterans and their service every day, but especially on Veterans Day. So what does this day mean to you?
In my world now, every day is Veterans Day. And so this is just another one of those days that we really get to highlight and that the world's actually listening to us.
Richard, we're thankful for you again.
Amen.
Thank you for your service. Could you tell us about the day in Iraq that changed your life?
Yeah, well, multiple days changed my life. The major one was where my buddy was shot and killed beside me on December 14th in 2006. But then on top of that, there was 4 other days where my Humvee was blown up. So I ended up with a left traumatic brain injury. But honestly, now that I look back on them, they're not blessings, but they are what started the process, which started my healing, which now heals a bunch of veterans through the process.
So, you know, I'm going to ask you to take us there. You're struggling with school and you're struggling with your healing, but then you discovered art therapy. Like, how did that save your life?
So when I transitioned out of the Marine Corps, struggling not to be able to speak in front of people anymore, not being able to go to job interviews because my anxiety and depression were so bad, I thought maybe an art degree would be a cop-out. But art 100% changed my life.
So when was the moment that you decided to create Creative Vets?
So I graduate from the school there in Chicago. I'm almost fully back to normal. I wrote a song in Nashville that helped me express what I was going through that way. So I have a song, I have my art, and I'm ready to tackle the world. And then I look back and I say, wait, is any other Marine or combat vet gonna do what I just did? So then the next step, I started searching. Are there organizations that do this? There wasn't. There was nobody enrolling veterans into these art schools, bringing them to Nashville to write songs. And so I knew we had to do this.
I love it. Richard, tell us about this amazing collaboration with one of Nashville's biggest labels and country music stars.
Oh my gosh, this has been a dream come true since we started. I remember my first board meeting say, could you imagine that we release veteran-created music for veterans by veterans, in which people could listen to this music, royalties comes back to our organization to keep bringing veterans to do this, and the veteran who told their story gets money coming back to them to show that their story is important and it's worth something. So now by partnering with Big Machine Records and putting top-tier artists on our songs, when a veteran's sitting at their home just looking for someone to connect with and they find a random song and it sounds like Justin Moore and they look at the artist and they say, wait, this is Creative Vets featuring Justin Moore, and they search us, they find out that we'll pay for their flights, their food, their housing from anywhere in the country to us. We're legitimately reaching in the homes and pulling them out through these partnerships with Big Machine Records.
Oh my
You are a godsend, Richard. You truly are. Some people are just born to serve.
Right.
I mean, you were serving in the military, now you're serving and you're saving lives. It's an honor to meet you.
Yes.
And to our viewers out there, you can make a donation at creativevets.org. And the music is available across all major streaming platforms and digital retailers. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Diabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 American adults are pre-diabetic, but the CDC says more than 84% of those people don't know they have it. A simple blood sugar test will tell you if you're pre-diabetic. The problem is many people aren't getting tested for it. Dr. Griffin Rogers, director of the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive, and Kidney Diseases at the NIH, says undiagnosed and untreated prediabetes can develop into even worse health conditions.
If you have prediabetes, within the next 5 to 10 years, you have a 50% chance of developing frank diabetes.
If patients aren't getting tested for prediabetes, then is there another way for people to know if they're pre-diabetic? Let's verify. Our sources are the CDC, the American Diabetes Association, Dr. Michael Berry, Vice Chair of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, and Dr. Griffin Rogers. Our sources say the short answer is no. There's not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. But according to the CDC, some people are more at risk for prediabetes than others, including being 45 years or older, having a parent, brother, or sister with type 2 diabetes, and or being physically active less than 3 times a week. According to the American Diabetes Association, quote, there are no clear symptoms of prediabetes, so you may have it and not know it. But before people develop type 2 diabetes, they almost always have prediabetes, unquote.
The task force recommends that for adults aged 35 to 70 who have overweight or obesity, that they be screened for diabetes and prediabetes.
So we can verify, no, there is not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. So if you want to know, just ask for a test at your next appointment. With your Verify, I'm Adiande Till.
There is, it's a palpable sense of urgency this year among employers who are looking for seasonal workers.
This year, employers are trying hard to convince you to work for them. Want proof? Just look at jobsiteindeed.com. More than 10% of seasonal job postings there mention urgently hiring. Last year, those words only appeared on 1% of postings. Workers are still in short supply. Some are taking their time getting back into the workforce after either getting laid off during the pandemic or quitting. And frankly, it pays to be choosy. If you're looking for a side hustle this holiday, keep an eye out for how an employer is sweetening the pot. Amazon, for example, is offering a signing bonus of $3,000 in some locations, plus an extra $3 an hour for working certain shifts. The bottom line, do your research and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. The extra money you make will help. The holiday season will be more expensive because of product shortages, among other things. And that's connecting the dots.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. We are getting a closer look at Nicole Kidman playing Lucille Ball. Was she the right choice? Plus, Luke Bryan makes a vaccine joke that falls flat. And more moments from last night's Country Music Awards.
November 11th is when the country thanks those who served our nation. But does Veterans Day honor active duty service members? Let's verify. Our sources are the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the USO. Veterans Day got its start in 1938 when Congress made Armistice Day an official holiday to honor those who fought in World War I. Eventually, veterans of later wars lobbied Congress to recognize them, too. In 1954, Congress officially renamed Armistice Day Veterans Day. As its name implies, Veterans Day is only intended to recognize veterans, who are people who have previously served in the military, not those on active duty. The VA explains Veterans Day is largely intended to thank and acknowledge living veterans, although those who have passed away are also remembered on Veterans Day. Those who died while serving are honored on Memorial Day. So it's false that Veterans Day honors active duty service members. Instead, the USO says that's what Armed Forces Day is for on the third Sunday of May. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL.
I cannot wait. You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No! I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop, I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control?
There's
no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. So the CMA Awards were back in full force last night. Did you guys watch? Well, the show opened with Luke Bryan, who was the host, taking a jab at Aaron Rodgers. Take a look.
We're following all the health protocols to keep everyone safe. And it is so great to be here with all my fellow artists, tested and together. Or immunized? Who is it? Just playing.
The cameras then went to Carrie Underwood, who gave a little side eye. Her husband, former NHL player Mike Fisher, has defended Aaron's decision not to get vaccinated. Carrie lost out to Luke Combs for Entertainer of the Year. Other notable moments. TJ Osborne kissed his boyfriend after winning Vocal Duo of the Year. Yes, and he did come out as gay earlier this year. Jimmy Allen got emotional after being named New Artist of the Year. He is only the second Black country artist to get the award. And Mickey Guyton performed her song Love My Hair with Brittany Spencer and Madeline Edwards. The song was inspired by Faith Fenity, who was sent home because her braided hair violated her school's hair policy in Louisiana. Wow, Erica, I mean, you've worked in country music. You've definitely seen it evolve. Has it become more, quote unquote, woke in your opinion?
I did a stint in country radio. Let me just clarify, I'm not a country artist.
Sing us a little something, Erica.
Yeah, just a little known fact about me. Nikki Guyton, who has been just an amazing artist for country music, who is not played on any country radio station across the country. What? Just so y'all know that. No, she is not.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So this is, but also Nikki Guyton has to be she's a very recognizable name. People know who she is, and it is a mystery still. The year she was doing something of the year that I worked in country, and I was supposed to go to the CMAs. My ticket got pulled by the radio station. But little side note there. I really do want to say this because I think it's very important. I was very excited to be in that position at that time because you could see that there was a change happening. To see that display last night, and a viewer, one of our viewers actually sent me that video. I got it at like 5 o'clock in the morning and I was bawling. I did miss the show, so this was something I was seeing for the first time. And not only Faith introducing her and explaining the story, but also contextualizing the Crown Act on that platform. I thought it was a very powerful thing. I was very proud of that moment, and I thought it was just beautiful to see.
Why did it make you cry? Did it remind you of things that you have gone through?
Well, the Nikki Guyton song about Faith is, talking about the idea that she tried to hide herself by hiding her hair so that she could fit in to this broader society, and it taught her not to have the respect for who she was and who she needed to present herself to be in the world. And I think that that is a story that resonates with a lot of people, but it's very much done in a echo chamber. This is an opportunity for people to hear these messages who aren't in the chamber to hear the echo. So this is a giant step forward, and I thought it was just a brilliant moment.
Love that. Did you watch with Jordan? I know you guys usually
We watched part of it, and then I'm like,
what do you think of Luke Bryan?
Luke, Brian, I wanted to ask you, Al.
Right,
I thought we were
talk
going
to
to move on. What did you think about that joke in the beginning? Because he goes, everybody here is tested, almost like we're better than. He never said anyone was vaccinated. So obviously he didn't write his own jokes.
Right.
Do you think that joke kind of fell flat, knowing that people in the audience were not vaccinated but tested positive just to get in the doors?
I think it fell flat, and that's kind of what disappointed me as a person that's performed in front of like many audiences. Some are more liberal, some are very, very conservative. Usually conservative audiences, when you perform in front of a lot of military, a lot of police officers, they don't care what you say. I remember I did a show with my USO tour, and I was like, you know, hey, what's the language situation? And they were like, people shoot at us. We don't care what you say. Right. And so, like, usually that's the mentality of conservative. So I was really surprised and a little bit disappointed that audience couldn't poke fun at itself. I thought it was a good joke. It's fine. Yeah.
Fair enough. So speaking of the CMAs, Nicole Kidman showed off her abs and her height on the red carpet with her husband Keith Urban last night. And we are getting another look at Nicole as Lucille Ball in her upcoming movie, Being the Ricardos.
I'd be like, what are you standing like that for?
I need you to help me save my marriage.
How many times I gotta explain where I was and what I was doing?
You gotta explain.
Are you being funny right now?
I'm Lucille Ball. When I'm being funny, you'll know it. This is getting out of hand.
Madness.
Have you been cheating on me?
The story's made up.
If they boo me?
If they boo you, we're done.
Sorry. I got lost for a second.
Wow.
First of all, amazing. I can't wait to see this. This is going to be fantastic for sure. But let's go back to that photo. Please.
Okay.
Let's go back to real life, okay? She's a great actress.
What's wrong with that photo?
I would never, if my wife did that, we would get a divorce.
What?
She's showing the dress off.
Wait, did what? What did she do?
Listen, I'm taking a picture of you, and then you're like,
she's
Superman? What are we doing, a movie poster? Just keep walking.
Jeff,
she is superhuman. She's flawless.
No, just keep going.
I'll just say Jeff has never taken a photo with a black woman at the club, because that is with the fingers out to show the nails. It's fingers on the thigh to show the nail. Leg shows the dress off, show the cut of the dress. So like,
but you
and the shoes.
So you're gonna, if someone's doing that, you're gonna be like, you're in the back.
This
you
is not, that's not about you. You step back and let her. You're just there as just like almost the garnish in the picture.
Yeah, he looked like a side.
He really did. That's looked like a fan.
I bet he's all about having his wife get the full attention.
Get out of there.
First of all, I do want to say, because there's still a lot of uproar of like people wanting Deborah Messing to play Lucille Ball instead of. Yeah, there is. Go online, and I think we even have a full screen between the two of them. But here's the thing. First of all, we all know Nicole Kidman is an incredible actor. People saying that she's not going to have the sense of humor to make the Lucille Ball jokes. Well, first and foremost, don't underestimate Nicole Kidman. Number two, she's playing Lucille Ball as Lucille Ball, not like the character that we all know.
It's a drama.
Right. Yes.
Not a comedy.
Exactly. I'm sure there will be, lighter moments, but also their kids, the Lucy and Desi, their names, Lucy Jr. and Desi Jr., they have given their blessing. They are executive producers. I don't know how involved they are, but they have given their blessing to have Nicole play her. And I think she's going to knock it out of the park.
Well, Aaron Sorkin and Nicole Kidman, is that okay?
Yeah, I was about to
say.
It's okay. I was about to say, when do we have to defend Nicole Kidman being in a movie? Like, I think she'll do great. She usually does.
This whole conversation, it just feels icky to me at this stage. You know, like maybe when they're maybe when casting's happening, but I think that there's a decorum for actors, and one of them is you don't talk about the roles that you gave up and passed on that somebody else knocked out of the park. And I think another one might be like when someone's cast, I don't know, like let's at least see it first. Right. But also, I don't have a horse in this race. I don't. I don't.
Coming up on DBL, Alfonso Ribeiro joins us live. There he is! Yay! Yeah! Did he really work alongside the Jackson 5 back in the day? Do not go anywhere. We're going to find out.
Erica, you said something interesting about like it feels icky to even talk about this after the roles have been cast. I think we're in this weird place where now a legit A-list actress, no argument there. They get cast in something and people are like, Are you sure?
Like, it's crazy.
Even our very own Tori has always stuck up for Deborah Messing. She believes
Right.
having the role. Now that Tori's starting to see more about it being a drama.
No, you missed the other show.
Oh, she is so upset?
She doubled down.
She's dying on that
She's
hill.
not alone, though. If you go online, there's a whole group of people that are
I'm sure
attached
we'll do
to
more.
Deborah Messing playing, because there was this one episode in Will and Grace where you got to see Deborah Messing play Lucille Ball, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly how Lucy is. But
That's going to be 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I don't have an issue, I don't have an issue with fans chiming in and being like, I really wish, whatever. I think it was more so that Deborah Messing kind of fanned the flames of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems a little bitter. And I think when
you could say that.
Right. I mean, it's just I don't know. Like if someone else was cast in a situation that I thought, I was super qualified for, I'm not sure I would be public about it. Well, I know I wouldn't. First of all, okay, it's bitter as hell, y'all.
There you go. Just spit it out.
It's just bitter.
Just spit it out.
It makes me feel like, girl, no, because Deborah Messing is brilliant and talented in her own right. Like, there will be other roles. In fact, there could be other roles as Lucy that would make sense for her to play in the future. How many biopics or whatever have been made about Whitney Houston or anyone else for that matter? And it's never the same person. So I just think this feels like I don't like
it. You've been tripping over biopic and biography
I know,
since we started. Every time it's like bio.
Because I want to say I don't know.
Since we started.
Biography.
Before taking over as the host of America's Funniest Home Videos, he was a child star that we all loved, who grew up to play TV's preppy Carlton Banks in the hit sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he's still making us laugh today. Alfonso Ribeiro joins us live. Hey, Alfonso!
Hey, guys. How are ya?
We're doing well now that you're here. So you starred, I just learned this today, and it blew my mind. Okay, so we all know that you starred in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You just learned that?
But wait for it, Albert. Wait, I used to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like none other. But here's what I did not know. I had no idea that you had to choose between that show or Will Smith's future wife, Jada Pinkett Smith show on A Different World. Why did you end up choosing the role of Carlton Banks, and did you ever talk to both Will and Jada about that decision?
Oh, well, I mean, no. I mean, obviously, let's just say in hindsight, it was a very clear win. But it was an opportunity. I had done a guest spot on A Different World, a character that was going to come back the next season with Jada. Jada was going to come back, and I was coming back, and I had the opportunity to audition for The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I just felt like starting something new, starting something that was off the ground, that was going to be a lot more fun. The role had a lot more juice and was, three-dimensional, and I felt like I could do more with it. So I chose to go with that one instead of doing A Different World. I think it worked out.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that juice and three-dimensionality.
Yes.
Lord have mercy.
Yes.
I don't think anybody's ever said that word.
I'll just make that up and stumble all over it. My bad. Because you guys really had the opportunity to tackle some issues that we're still speaking about this day. And in his shocking new memoir, Mill Swift, Lord have mercy.
Is he getting you tongue-tied?
You know what? Honestly, Alfonso, I'm going to be very honest.
She feel a little something. You feel a little something, girl? You feel something.
Alfonso, I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie. I am getting tongue-tied. You were like one of my crushes growing up, and I swear to you.
It comes out.
I swear to you. This happens to me.
I could tell she was feeling a little something. I knew.
Oh my gosh. Wait a second, Alfonso. Erica never gets tongue-tied.
She's never done it.
So I'm just going to savor this moment because I always get tongue-tied. Erica.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Gotcha.
I'm so sorry.
And I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
This also happened to me when I met Zach Morris. So,
Okay. All right. No different. No different.
So, Will Smith says he remembers the moment that Fresh Prince jumped the shark. It was during season 5, episode 15, when your character Carlton decided to carry a gun. So do you feel the same way Will does about this episode?
You know, when I read that, I was like, what that dude talking about? He don't know nothing about jumping the shark. He making it up as he goes. The reality was that Will's career was jumping off. There was no question that he was going to become a movie star. And, you know, at the end of that season, which is the part that he is saying is true, he did come to all of us and say, listen, this is my last season doing the show. I'm going to leave, but I'm going to give you guys one more season so that you guys can figure out what you want to do after that. But, you know, I felt like this show could continue to go on. And I do know that for him, and he'd always said this, that he felt like we started to regurgitate storylines, that we were just coming up with new ways to say kind of the same thing. And I understood that. Shows continue to do that, and shows always find new ways. But that is kind of what life is like. Things don't just happen to a person one time in their life. Sometimes it happens over and over again in many different ways. And that's kind of what true life is all about. So I didn't really have a problem with that, but I understood that his movie career was going to jump off, and he'd already done Independence Day and Bad Boys, running around Miami with no shirt on. How was he going to be the corny, big-eared guy that was, you know, being silly?
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you. Keep going, Jeff.
Alfonso, America's Funniest Home Videos is one of the longest-running primetime shows on TV. But my question is, why do you think people are still tuning in when they could just watch the internet?
Well, because family television no longer exists. We don't have a way to sit down and watch a show together. And, you know, ABC having it at 7 o'clock on Sunday nights, it's that getting ready for the week and sitting down together and laughing together. You could be with grandma, you could be with the grandkids, you could be everyone in between, and there's something for everyone. And look, yes, there's a way that you could go online and you can absolutely find funny videos, but you're never going to find them packaged the way we do it, and you're never going to find an entire hour's worth of great videos knowing that you're going to laugh the whole time for everybody. You go on the internet and you start searching for videos, you don't know where you're going to end up.
It's true. That's the best answer.
So well said. Thank you so much for joining us, Alfonso. We're going to go ahead and get Erica.
Erica, do you want to say goodbye?
Yeah.
Put on some Sade and give her a dark room.
Oh, my goodness.
DBL Nation.
Bye, girl.
America's Funniest Home Videos, Sunday nights on ABC. Thank you, Alfonso. We'll be right back.
That was amazing.
All right.
Thanks, man.
The Medicare.
Veterans Day and Memorial Day both honor those who served our country, with one main difference. Memorial Day honors military members who have died, while Veterans Day recognizes the service and sacrifice of all America's veterans. Then there's the date. Memorial Day changes because it's observed on the last Monday in May. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is always November 11th. Here's why. Veterans Day originally came out of World War I. Although the war technically ended with the Treaty of Versailles, the fighting stopped months earlier. The Allied nations and Germany agreed to a truce that took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month back in 1918. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th Armistice Day. In 1926, Congress made a formal declaration calling for a celebration of peace. 28 years later, Congress changed the name to Veterans Day, making sure it honored all American veterans, not just those who served in World War I. And that's connecting the dots. For 9 News Morning.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl. We want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control?
There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day. We've got the sweetest deals from our friends at Morning Save. You're not going to believe the incredible discount Steph showed Tori earlier. Check it out.
All right, what do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey Tori, I have got some wonderful products and even better deals, and I can't wait to share them with you. So first up, we've got Had a Neon stainless steel personal blender deal. So it includes one blender, 2 different blending cups, and 2 travel lids. So you can take your drink with you to the gym, to the office, or anywhere while you're out and about. And the blender features 3 adjustable speeds and a suction cup feet. That means it's going to keep it really secure on your counter.
Wow.
So normally it's $53.
Okay.
Yeah, but we've got it, Tori, for only $25, saving our viewers 53%.
Guys, this is such a good present for any outdoorsy person.
Isn't this great?
Or anyone in a small apartment. It's such a good price, great product.
Now,
Started
Tori,
good.
it's time to get your teeth clean with Fairy Will Electric Toothbrush Duo Set, where you will get 2 bases, 8 brush heads, 2 interdental heads, and 2 cases. So this set has a 2-minute smart timer that pauses every 30 seconds, which will give you a dentist recommended clean every time.
Nice.
It's got 5 high-performance brush modes that suit everyone's teeth and gums, even those that have got some sensitivities.
Yeah.
And the blue indicator bristles will remind you when it's time to replace your brush head. But you won't be running out anytime soon, because these brush heads will last you 3 months each.
Wow.
So normally it's $100.
Okay, I mean, that's still good.
But we've got it, Tori, for only $49, which means our viewers save up to 51%. Now, this next product is absolutely genius. It is a 2-pack of Estelle Rechargeable Vanity Lights.
Whoa.
So this deal includes 2 vanity lights with 2 USB cords and 2 suction cup holders. So you can pick, look at this, you ready?
Oh,
you can choose how bright you want it.
Oh, this is good for getting your makeup done.
Oh yeah, this is great. So normally it's as much as $46.
Okay, kind of pricey. A little
But
bit.
now it's $19.
Oh, that's great.
Saving 59%.
Can I be honest? I wish I had thought of this product, because it's just the suction cups that you could take it anywhere. A hotel.
Anywhere.
If you're staying over at like your boyfriend's or partner's like house. Brilliant product, great price.
Okay, and last, but certainly not least, we've got double dip fall or holiday nail dip starter kit.
Oh, I love dip.
I know, so you'll get 6 dip powders for your DIY nails, as well as applicators to make this a professional salon look. So great nails are as simple as coat, dip, file, and shine. That's all you need to do to become your new favorite nail technician. And they last for weeks and require no maintenance, and they can even help strengthen your nails. Normally, these are as much as $90, which is the cost of going to the salon.
I was going to say, that's exactly the salon cost, yes.
But we've got it, Tori, for $35, saving 61%.
Oh my Lord, if you guys don't know, everyone gets dip now. We used to get gel, now I know it's dip, and it really does last way longer.
Oh yes.
That'll save you in the long run.
And I think as well, this might look like a small pot, but this pot will last you oh my gosh,
forever.
So many times. And when you have dip on your nails, it lasts for, like I said, weeks.
It's crazy good, guys.
This set is quite the must-have if you are into doing your nails.
Very good. For any like people who are into makeup, fashionistas out there, great gift. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. Again, thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Diabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 American adults are pre-diabetic, but the CDC says more than 84% of those people don't know they have it. A simple blood sugar test will tell you if you're pre-diabetic. The problem is, many people aren't getting tested for it. Dr. Griffin Rogers, director of the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive, and Kidney Diseases at the NIH, says undiagnosed and untreated prediabetes can develop into even worse health conditions.
If you have prediabetes, within the next 5 to 10 years, you have a 50% chance of developing frank diabetes.
If patients aren't getting tested for prediabetes, then is there another way for people to know if they're pre-diabetic? Let's verify. Our sources are the CDC, the American Diabetes Association, Dr. Michael Berry, Vice Chair of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, and Dr. Griffin Rogers. Our sources say the short answer is no. There's not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. But according to the CDC, some people are more at risk for prediabetes than others, including being 45 years or older, having a parent, brother, or sister with type 2 diabetes, and or being physically active less than 3 times a week. According to the American Diabetes Association, quote, there are no clear symptoms of prediabetes, so you may have it and not know it. But before people develop type 2 diabetes, they almost always have prediabetes, unquote.
The task force recommends that for adults aged 35 to 70 who have overweight or obesity, that they be screened for diabetes and prediabetes.
So we can verify, no, there is not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. So if you want to know, just ask for a test at your next appointment. With your Verify, I'm Adiande Till.
There is, it's a palpable sense of urgency this year among employers who are looking for seasonal workers.
This year, employers are trying hard to convince you to work for them. Want proof? Just look at jobsiteindeed.com. More than 10% of seasonal job postings there mention urgently hiring. Last year, those words only appeared on 1% of postings. Workers are still in short supply. Some are taking their time getting back into the workforce after either getting laid off during the pandemic or quitting. And frankly, it pays to be choosy. If you're looking for a side hustle this holiday, keep an eye out for how an employer is sweetening the pot. Amazon, for example, is offering a signing bonus of $3,000 in some locations, plus an extra $3 an hour for working certain shifts. The bottom line, do your research and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. The extra money you make will help. The holiday season will be more expensive because of product shortages, among other things. And that's connecting the dots.
Tomorrow on DBL, a mother is sex trafficked for 5 years. How she escaped this horrifying nightmare.
This can happen to me. It can happen to anyone.
Plus, our red carpet interview with 50 Shades of Grey star Jamie Dornan. What made him break out singing?
Never be denied.
Everlasting love. That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back. So, Jeff, we got a photo for you.
For me?
Yep.
I thought we were going to roast Eric. Yeah! See what I mean?
You like it.
No, I would separate myself from her. I would let her do her thing.
She might separate. Oh!
You do the same thing.
Look at the one on, yeah.
What are you talking about? My hand's in my pocket in the last one.
No, the left one you did.
Erica blushed for Alfonso Ribeiro.
Every day. Bye, guys.
November 11th is when the country thanks those who served our nation. But does Veterans Day honor active duty service members? Let's verify. Our sources are the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the USO. Veterans Day got its start in 1938 when Congress made Armistice Day an official holiday to honor those who fought in World War I. Eventually, veterans of later wars lobbied Congress to recognize them, too. In 1954, Congress officially renamed Armistice Day Veterans Day. As its name implies, Veterans Day is only intended to recognize veterans, who are people who have previously served in the military, not those on active duty. The VA explains Veterans Day is largely intended to thank and acknowledge living veterans, although those who have passed away are also remembered on Veterans Day. Those who died while serving are honored on Memorial Day. So it's false that Veterans Day honors active duty service members. Instead, the USO says that's what Armed Forces Day is for on the third Sunday of May. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control?
There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day.
About today on Daily Blast Live.
Could Kyle Rittenhouse walk free? Why the defense is demanding a mistrial. A Marine survives a traumatic brain injury while in combat. His incredible story of getting his life back.
If 0 was killing myself and 100 was me before war, I was at a 9.
And joining us live today, Allison Sweeney and Alfonso Ribeiro.
insane? This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, November 11th. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica, and today is Veterans Day, and we want to honor all those who have served and sacrificed on behalf of our nation, our veterans, and of course their family and friends. Earlier today, the president attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the tomb of the unknown soldier in Arlington National Cemetery. Today's ceremony also included a centennial commemoration of the site. And for the first time in nearly 100 years, the public was allowed to lay flowers at the tomb this week. The tomb has been a final resting place for 3 unknown U.S. service members and has also served as a symbolic grave for unidentified or missing American soldiers. And I just want to say on behalf of our panel, this day is very special to all of us. It's all of our fathers have served on behalf of our country, and to all of our viewers out there that had served or are presently serving or know someone or related to someone, we just want to thank you. So we do have an update in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, who is on trial for killing 2 people and injuring a third during unrest last summer in Kenosha, Wisconsin. So the judge overseeing the trial said he would rule later on a request for a mistrial from defense attorneys. This comes after the 18-year-old took the stand yesterday and broke down sobbing. A lot of folks had some very strong reactions, including the sole survivor who was shot by Rittenhouse in the arm. Here's what he told GMA earlier today.
I think anytime you see your would-be murderer on the stand, it's emotional. To me, it seemed like a child who had just gotten caught doing something that he wasn't supposed to. More upset that he was caught and less upset about what he had done and what he had taken and the numerous lives that he affected.
LeBron James also weighed in, tweeting, "What tears? I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court." Now, a lot of people are making jokes of it because sometimes when you have such a serious situation, you need some levity, especially if you think you're calling it for what it is. Do you agree with LeBron James?
Well, I think we all watched that video just like we watched the video of him actually committing the act. And, you know, you can choose to see what your eyes or believe what your eyes are seeing, or you can cultivate a story that contextualizes it better for whatever your needs or agenda might be. You know, we saw this yesterday. It was very fresh. I said I can't make sense out of nonsense. I stand behind that statement. And I appreciate the actual victim speaking out, because I think a lot of times when we see these stories, we forget about the victims and how their families and friends must feel. So I think that part is very important to this entire story.
Yeah, it becomes a spectacle, and it's almost that's what it's becoming already. We're only a couple days in, right? We lose the meaning of what is at stake in a lot of these stories, and it just, is he guilty? Is he innocent? Even if there's a video, it's up to these lawyers that find some sort of loophole in the back door, and then the person walks or they get locked up. It's like, I don't know if we should be airing all this, and not this in particular. I'm saying in general to start making it a spectacle that it is. That's just.
I mean, Jeff, you hit it on the head. We're in the era where video doesn't even matter, and it's because none of it matters. Erica, Sam, Jeff. I think that the fact that we're even talking about this shows you we're already so partisan that as soon as you sit down, before the video even plays, you already have a narrative in your head of what is happening. What is he? Is he a murderer or a vigilante? Is he a lost teenager, or is he the face of the alt-right? So it's like, how are we looking at this video? Is besides the point. This could air in 10 years, and you're going to feel the same way. So there's a sadness that there are no facts anymore. It's just how you feel, and you're just already. That's what it is, and you cannot have your mind changed. And I think that's a scary place for a lot of us to be.
And a lot of people say everybody deserves their day in court. Everybody is innocent and presumed guilty. What frustrated me was you mentioned victims. They're not even allowed to use those words in court, per the judge. That, to me, is such a slap in the face on our democracy and what justice really is. If everybody's supposed to have their fair day in court, then how come the victims don't have their fair day in court? We're not even allowed to call them victims in the court of law. If I was that mother mourning my son who's buried and knowing that in the court of law, televised in front of the entire nation, they're not labeled as a victim after their life was taken from them, I would not believe in our justice system. And I know a lot of people feel that very way, and I'll leave it at that. So we have a quick update on what Matthew McConaughey said yesterday about vaccinating his kids. He clarified on Instagram that he's not against vaccinating children. He says his eldest son, 13-year-old Levi, is fully vaccinated for COVID-19. So there you go. We talked about this yesterday, Jeff. You had a very strong stance. You felt like people were mislabeling Matthew McConaughey without hearing the whole story.
Well, I think they mislabel everybody. They just want to take people down. Speaking of spectacle, that's what this is, right? Asking a question as a concerned citizen, as a concerned parent, as a concerned neighbor, is questioning what people's beliefs are, right? And I'm saying this in general. Obviously, Matthew, would you say he was being a concerned father just by asking a question?
Right. Look, Jeff, you're talking about asking a question or something financial in terms of clickbait, and that's where we are. Yeah. You were on this with the Jason Momoa story when he was asked that question about his character in Game of Thrones, and you called that out months ago. And here we are with that same issue. And unfortunately, journalism and the reporter is in a position where if Erica walks in and says, this is my headline for this story, her editor might say, change that, or no one's going to look at this. So we're in this weird thing where the journalists have to have clickbait to keep their job. And unfortunately, the victim is the interviewee. And so who's at fault here? The journalist is trying to keep a roof over their head, or the person that's answering a question honestly? I think it's just a shame when capitalism is always going to run head into honesty, and this is where we're going to be.
I think you'd be an honest journalist without feeding someone's narrative. And I think that's what you get not paid more for, but unfortunately you get these social points in the media, right? And you're like, oh, look, I took down Matthew McConaughey when there's nothing to take down. And that's where we're at. Tomorrow it'll be someone else.
Good conversations. Do not go away. Our interview with actress Allison Sweeney coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by...
So we're talking about clickbait and, the interviewer, the interviewee, all these things. I just feel like it really goes to the lack of, attention span that audiences truly have. There's a reason why the segments that, TikTok had grown in such large popularity, because it's very small sound bites, because our attention spans are so short. So I don't think it's in fault of journalism. First of all, I don't like just blanketly saying journalism, because I have tried to drive home the point that everyone who has a platform and everyone who's in media are not journalists. We overuse that word, and I think it is feeding the flames of what has now been referred to as fake news. We have to understand where the credibility lies and who has a journalistic integrity.
meaning their bias cannot be involved, meaning that they have to present both sides of the story and contextualize the events at hand. So when we say it's the journalist or the interview, it's like such a broad span because there are so many platforms that are very one-sided, intentionally one-sided, and are meant to be in an echo chamber. That's called editorial, not journalism. So I think that's very important to say, but it really does come down to the attention span of our demographics. We're just not in it for that long.
Yeah.
A minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
Stop.
There's no such thing as guns. I'm talking about.
DBL is always all new every day.
What's that? I don't know.
A love note from Christmas past.
Dear Nikki.
But who sent it?
Hey, aren't you curious? Oh, of course, I'm curious.
Could it be him?
You just found it?
Or him?
Oh. What?
It's a holiday mystery.
Yes, that's exactly what I love to watch on a Sunday night. Welcome back to DBL, best known as Sammy Brady on Days of Our Lives and as the presenter on Biggest Loser. Is there anything this actress, director, author, and TV host can't do? Today, we're going to chat with TV legend Allison Sweeney.
Yes.
Hey.
What a career.
Thank you. My gosh, what an introduction.
Well, it's true. I mean, you're holiday royalty at Hallmark. I watch every single one of your holiday movies. So is the holiday season especially magical for you and your family? Do I even see a snowman decoration already in the background?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready. I love the holidays. They're my favorite time of year. I love everything about it. I love all the traditions. So being a part of the Hallmark Countdown to Christmas has been so fun because you just get to extend the holiday magic.
Allison, we're two in the same. I also put up my Christmas decorations, me and my wife, so I appreciate you for that. And I also heard you wanted to be on The Amazing Race. You auditioned for it a couple of years ago. I was actually on it, so if you want to send me your tape, I know some people over there.
Yeah, you have a hookup. I love that show.
That was a complete
by the way,
joke.
I hate to tell you, I put my audition tape in like a decade ago. I've been watching that show since day one.
Would you still do it today, like if they asked you to be on it?
I mean, are you kidding? Yeah, of course I would. I love it. I think about it all the time. Every time I travel, I play the game at the airport of like, could I have gotten there faster? Or what if I know how to drive a stick shift? I feel that's a big plus for me.
Who would your partner be very quickly?
Not my husband. He's not into that.
Great answer.
He would judge us later. My best friend and I talk about it all the time.
I love it.
I feel like that you put that in the universe is going to happen.
Yes.
Now, you reunited.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you reunited with friend of the show, Cameron Matheson, in the new Hannah Swenson movie, which is amazing. So we want to know.
Yeah, Cam.
What we have to, because we're going to see him again, we need to know an embarrassing behind-the-scenes story about Cameron that we can throw in his face, of course.
Yes. Well, if you guys know Cameron, you know how healthy he is as an eater. And my favorite thing about Cameron is he's just such a sincere actor. He works so hard at what we're doing. And nothing brings me more delight than the fact that his character has to eat these cookies and these sweet treats and desserts in the scenes. And, it's not just one take. It's, 3 takes from this camera angle and from other camera angles. And so he finds himself sometimes, I'm not kidding, in sugar shock, like ODing on the amount of sugar and candy and desserts that he eats, and it makes me laugh every time.
Well, if he needs a stand-in or like a body double to eat the cookies, I will come in, eat them,
You're
and
happy
then
to
disappear.
take one for the team. I appreciate it.
And you look just like
I know, it's going to have to be a weird, you know, and have sunglasses on.
Okay, I have to know, what was it like returning to Days of Our Lives after 2 decades to play America's favorite villain, Sammy Brady? And did it feel different, or was it just like coming home?
Oh my God, it is like coming home, because I feel so comfortable, and they're my family, the crew, and as you guys know, you just see people every day, and you just feel like it just feels so welcoming. But I was really nervous because I love what I do. I love being an actor. I love the fans and their reactions, and it matters to me that I deliver, oh, Allie's coming back, Sammy's going to be back. I feel I have to just do. And so I was more nervous the night before, really reading my lines again and hoping it all worked out. I had butterflies in my stomach on the way to work that first day.
That's relatable, though. Okay, so we got to get to your film. In Open by Christmas, your best friend Simone is struggling to let go of her 16-year-old son as he's growing up. Now, your oldest son is 16 years old. So how are you finding it hard to let him get older? I mean, I have a 4-year-old and an 18-month-old, and I'm already like, don't get bigger, don't.
I hate it.
Don't get older. I know. You feel that way every step of the way. And what I love about this movie is that the two best friends are at very different places in their lives and in their romances. And so I think for the viewers, they get a little bit of everything. And the actress Erica Durance, who's so talented to play Simone, she and I had that conversation. She has kids who are older too. And so she really related to that. And we both felt like moms who have these teen sons or teen children, just are really going to identify with that feeling of every holiday, every last one. You're like, you feel yourself holding on to those memories and then making them maybe too precious, maybe sort of, holding on too tight.
Right.
Is the line in the scene where we kind of have that best friend talk, where you have to really sort of like tell your friend what's happening. You have to be honest. And that's another part of the movie I love, is just the depiction of the female friendship in it. But my kid's getting older too, and he drives a car.
You're
and
making me emotional.
So nervous.
I know.
I worry about all those things.
Well, we've run out of time. You're going to have to come back and see us. Thank you for joining us today. And to all of our viewers out there, guess what? Open by Christmas premieres November 12th, right around the corner on the Hallmark Channel. So be sure to tune in and watch. Thank you again, Allison.
You were great, Allison.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Veterans Day and Memorial Day both honor those who served our country, with one main difference. Memorial Day honors military members who have died, while Veterans Day recognizes the service and sacrifice of all America's veterans. Then there's the date. Memorial Day changes because it's observed on the last Monday in May. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is always November 11th. Here's why. Veterans Day originally came out of World War I. Although the war technically ended with the Treaty of Versailles, the fighting stopped months earlier. The Allied nations and Germany agreed to a truce that took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month back in 1918. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th Armistice Day. In 1926, Congress made a formal declaration calling for a celebration of peace. 28 years later, Congress changed the name to Veterans Day, making sure it honored all American veterans, not just those who served in World War I. And that's connecting the dots. For 9 News Morning.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control?
There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back. This next story is a special one that we're happy to share on Veterans Day. Richard Casper is a celebrated U.S. Marine who suffered a traumatic brain injury during combat in Iraq. At his lowest point of recovery, he decided to change his path and fight a different fight, one for his fellow brothers dealing with the after effects of war. Here is his incredible story.
After 9/11, that's when I was a junior. I saw those towers fall, and I just said, you know what? I want to be the first person overseas.
Richard Casper joined the military at 17, ready to fight for his country.
I went to Fallujah, Iraq in 2006, 2007 with first tanks. Within the first 4 months of me being in Iraq, my Humvee was blown up 4 separate times, which led to a left traumatic brain injury, and then my buddy was shot and killed beside me. They said I wasn't allowed to work anymore. I was unfit for duty. When I transitioned back home, I didn't know anything was wrong with me. I knew I had migraines for like months straight. I went to college for business at this community college. That's where I found all my injuries. I started going to school and I started failing all my classes. And so that's when I knew there was an issue and when I was going downhill fast. And that's when I got diagnosed with my left traumatic brain injury, my PTSD. And so that's when I was even more down in the dump. What I tell people is if 0 was killing myself and 100 was me before war, I was at a 9 at my lowest point, and then I discovered art and music.
But Richard found a creative way to fight through the depression.
So I used to doodle all the time. I used to draw. How about I get an easy degree in art? And that's what ended up changing my life, that decision, because in the art classes is where I actually learned how to tell my story without telling my story. And I said, you know what? I want to create a nonprofit out of this because I think so many veterans are going to benefit from telling their story.
Taking matters into his own hands, he launched Creative Vets to offer support and relief to those who have sacrificed for our country. The program uses forms of arts to help veterans cope.
If we can get this music out to the people, to the veterans, we're going to save so many more veterans' lives just by them listening to our music, letting them know that they're not alone out there.
I'm so excited about our next guest. He is a Purple Heart recipient and one of Time Magazine's Next Generation Leaders. Please give a hero's welcome to DBL, Richard Casper.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us. And definitely thank you for your service. We celebrate veterans and their service every day, but especially on Veterans Day. So what does this day mean to you?
In my world now, every day is Veterans Day. And so this is just another one of those days that we really get to highlight and that the world's actually listening to us.
Richard, we're thankful for you again.
Amen.
Thank you for your service. Could you tell us about the day in Iraq that changed your life?
Yeah, well, multiple days changed my life. The major one was where my buddy was shot and killed beside me on December 14th in 2006. But then on top of that, there was 4 other days where my Humvee was blown up. So I ended up with a left traumatic brain injury. But honestly, now that I look back on them, they're not blessings, but they are what started the process, which started my healing, which now heals a bunch of veterans through the process.
So, you know, I'm going to ask you to take us there. You're struggling with school and you're struggling with your healing, but then you discovered art therapy. Like, how did that save your life?
So when I transitioned out of the Marine Corps, struggling not to be able to speak in front of people anymore, not being able to go to job interviews because my anxiety and depression were so bad, I thought maybe an art degree would be a cop-out. But art 100% changed my life.
So when was the moment that you decided to create Creative Vets?
So I graduate from the school there in Chicago. I'm almost fully back to normal. I wrote a song in Nashville that helped me express what I was going through that way. So I have a song, I have my art, and I'm ready to tackle the world. And then I look back and I say, wait, is any other Marine or combat vet going to do what I just did? So then the next step, I started searching. Are there organizations that do this? There wasn't. There was nobody enrolling veterans into these art schools, bringing them to Nashville to write songs. And so I knew we had to do this.
I love it. Richard, tell us about this amazing collaboration with one of Nashville's biggest labels and country music stars.
Oh my gosh, this has been a dream come true since we started. I remember my first board meeting say, could you imagine that we release veteran-created music for veterans by veterans, in which people could listen to this music, royalties comes back to our organization to keep bringing veterans to do this, and the veteran who told their story gets money coming back to them to show that their story is important and it's worth something. So now by partnering with Big Machine Records and putting top tier artists on our songs, when a veteran's sitting at their home just looking for someone to connect with and they find a random song and it sounds like Justin Moore and they look at the artist and they say, wait, this is Creative Vets featuring Justin Moore, and they search us, they find out that we'll pay for their flights, their food, their housing from anywhere in the country to us. We're legitimately reaching in the homes and pulling them out through these partnerships with Big Machine Records.
You are a godsend, Richard. You truly are. Some people are just born to serve.
Right.
I mean, you were serving in the military. Now you're serving and you're saving lives. It's an honor to meet you.
Yes.
And to our viewers out there, you can make a donation at creativevets.org. And the music is available across all major streaming platforms and digital retailers. We'll be right back.
Thanks so much.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Diabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 American adults are pre-diabetic, but the CDC says more than 84% of those people don't know they have it. A simple blood sugar test will tell you if you're pre-diabetic. The problem is many people aren't getting tested for it. Dr. Griffin Rogers, director of the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive, and Kidney Diseases at the NIH, says undiagnosed and untreated prediabetes can develop into even worse health conditions.
If you have prediabetes, within the next 5 to 10 years, you have a 50% chance of developing frank diabetes.
If patients aren't getting tested for prediabetes, then is there another way for people to know if they're pre-diabetic? Let's verify. Our sources are the CDC, the American Diabetes Association, Dr. Michael Berry, Vice Chair of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, and Dr. Griffin Rogers. Our sources say the short answer is no. There's not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. But according to the CDC, some people are more at risk for prediabetes than others, including being 45 years or older, having a parent, brother, or sister with type 2 diabetes, and or being physically active less than 3 times a week. According to the American Diabetes Association, quote, there are no clear symptoms of prediabetes, so you may have it and not know it. But before people develop type 2 diabetes, they almost always have prediabetes, unquote.
The task force recommends that for adults aged 35 to 70 who have overweight or obesity, that they be screened for diabetes and prediabetes.
So we can verify, no, there is not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. So if you want to know, just ask for a test at your next appointment. With your Verify, I'm Adiande Till.
There is, it's a palpable sense of urgency this year among employers who are looking for seasonal workers.
This year, employers are trying hard to convince you to work for them. Want proof? Just look at jobsiteindeed.com. More than 10% of seasonal job postings there mention urgently hiring. Last year, those words only appeared on 1% of postings. Workers are still in short supply. Some are taking their time getting back into the workforce after either getting laid off during the pandemic or quitting. And frankly, it pays to be choosy. If you're looking for a side hustle this holiday, keep an eye out for how an employer is sweetening the pot. Amazon, for example, is offering a signing bonus of $3,000 in some locations, plus an extra $3 an hour for working certain shifts. The bottom line, do your research and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. The extra money you make will help. The holiday season will be more expensive because of product shortages, among other things. And that's connecting the dots.
Us. You can watch the second half of the show online, but if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. We are getting a closer look at Nicole Kidman playing Lucille Ball. Was she the right choice? Plus, Luke Bryan makes a vaccine joke that falls flat. And more moments from last night's Country Music Awards.
is when the country thanks those who served our nation. But does Veterans Day honor active duty service members? Let's verify. Our sources are the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the USO. Veterans Day got its start in 1938 when Congress made Armistice Day an official holiday to honor those who fought in World War I. Eventually, veterans of later wars lobbied Congress to recognize them, too. In 1954, Congress officially renamed Armistice Day Veterans Day. As its name implies, Veterans Day is only intended to recognize veterans, who are people who have previously served in the military, not those on active duty. The VA explains Veterans Day is largely intended to thank and acknowledge living veterans, although those who have passed away are also remembered on Veterans Day. Those who died while serving are honored on Memorial Day. So it's false that Veterans Day honors active duty service members. Instead, the USO says that's what Armed Forces Day is for on the third Sunday of May. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control?
There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day.
Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. So the CMA Awards were back in full force last night. Did you guys watch? Well, the show opened with Luke Bryan, who was the host, taking a jab at Aaron Rodgers. Take a look.
We're following all the health protocols to keep everyone safe. And it is so great to be here with all my fellow artists, tested and together. Or immunized? Who is it? Just playing.
The cameras then went to Carrie Underwood, who gave a little side eye. Her husband, former NHL player Mike Fisher, has defended Aaron's decision not to get vaccinated. Carrie lost out to Luke Combs for Entertainer of the Year. Other notable moments. TJ Osborne kissed his boyfriend after winning Vocal Duo of the Year. Yes, and he did come out as gay earlier this year. Jimmy Allen got emotional after being named New Artist of the Year. He is only the second Black country artist to get the award. And Mickey Guyton performed her song Love My Hair with Brittany Spencer and Madeline Edwards. The song was inspired by Faith Vanity, who was sent home because her braided hair violated her school's hair policy in Louisiana. Wow, Erica, I mean, you've worked in country music. You've definitely seen it evolve. Has it become more quote unquote woke in your opinion?
I did a stint in country radio. Let me just clarify, I'm not a country artist.
Sing us a little something.
Yeah, just a little known fact about me. Nikki Guyton, who has been just an amazing artist for country music, who is not played on any country radio station across the country. What? Just so y'all know that. No, she is not.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So this is, but also Nikki Guyton has to be one of the, she's a very recognizable name. People know who she is, and it is a mystery still. The year she was doing something, the year that I worked in country, and I was supposed to go to the CMAs. My ticket got pulled by the radio station. Little side note there. I really do want to say this because I think it's very important. I was very excited to be in that position at that time because you could see that there was a change happening. To see that display last night, and a viewer, one of our viewers actually sent me that video. I got it at like 5 o'clock in the morning and I was bawling. I did miss the show, so this was something I was seeing for the first time. And not only Faith introducing her and explaining the story, but also contextualizing the Crown Act on that platform. I thought it was a very powerful thing. I was very proud of that moment, and I thought it was just beautiful to see.
Why did it make you cry? Did it remind you of things that you have gone through?
Well, the Nikki Guyton's song about faith is, talking about the idea that she tried to hide herself by hiding her hair so that she could fit in to this broader society, and it taught her not to have the respect for who she was and who she needed to present herself to be in the world. And I think that that is a story that resonates with a lot of people, but it's very much done in a echo chamber. This is an opportunity for people to hear these messages who aren't in the chamber to hear the echo. So this is a giant step forward, and I thought it was just a brilliant moment.
Love that. Did you watch with Jordan? I know you guys usually
We watched part of it, and then I'm like,
what do you think of
finish
Luke
Narcos?
Bryan?
Luke Bryan, I wanted to ask you, Al.
Right,
I thought we were going to move on. What did you think about that joke in the beginning? Because he goes, everybody here is tested, almost like we're better than. He never said anyone was vaccinated. So obviously he didn't write his own jokes.
Right.
Do you think that joke kind of fell flat, knowing that people in the audience were not vaccinated but tested positive just to get in the doors?
I think it fell flat, and that's kind of what disappointed me as a person that's performed in front of like many audiences. Some are more liberal, some are very, very conservative. Usually conservative audiences, when you perform in front of a lot of military, a lot of police officers, they don't care what you say. I remember I did a show with my USO tour, and I was like, hey, what's the language situation? And they were like, people shoot at us. We don't care what you say. Right. And so, like, usually that's the mentality of conservatives. So I was really surprised and a little bit disappointed that audience couldn't poke fun at itself. I thought it was a good joke. It's fine. Yeah.
Fair enough. So speaking of the CMAs, Nicole Kidman showed off her abs and her height on the red carpet with her husband Keith Urban last night. And we are getting another look at Nicole as Lucille Ball in her upcoming movie, Being the Ricardos.
I'd be like, what are you standing like that for?
I need you to help me save my marriage.
How many times I gotta explain where I was and what I was doing?
You gotta explain.
Are you being funny right now?
I'm Lucille Ball. When I'm being funny, you'll know it. This is getting out of hand.
Madness.
Have you been cheating on me?
The story's made up.
If they boo me?
If they boo you, we're done.
Sorry. I got lost for a second.
Wow.
First of all, amazing. I can't wait to see this. This is going to be fantastic for sure. But let's go back to that photo. Please. Okay. Let's go back to real life, okay? She's a great actress.
What's wrong with that photo?
I would never, if my wife did that, we would get a divorce.
What?
She's showing the dress off.
What did she do?
Listen, I'm taking a picture of you, and then you're like,
she's posing.
Superman? What are we doing, a movie poster? Just keep walking.
She is superhuman. She's flawless.
No, just keep going.
I'll just say, Jeff has never taken a photo with a black woman at the club, because that is with the fingers out to show the nails. It's fingers on the thigh to show the nail. Leg, show the dress off, show the cut of the dress. That's so like,
but you
and the shoes.
So you're gonna, if someone's doing that, you're gonna be like,
you're
in the back.
That's not about you. You step back and let her. You're just there as just like almost the garnish in the picture.
Yeah, he looked like a side table.
He really did. That's what like a fan.
I bet he's all about having his wife get the full attention.
Get out of there.
First of all, I do want to say, because there's still a lot of uproar of like people wanting Deborah Messing to play Lucille Ball instead of. Yeah, there is. Go online, and I think we even have a full screen between the two of them. But here's the thing. First of all, we all know Nicole Kidman is an incredible actor. People saying that she's not going to have the sense of humor to make the Lucille Ball jokes. Well, first and foremost, don't underestimate Nicole Kidman. Number two, she's playing Lucille Ball as Lucille Ball, not like the character that we all know.
It's a drama.
Yes.
Not a comedy.
Exactly. I'm sure there will be, lighter moments, but also their kids, the Lucy and Desi, their names Lucy Jr. and Desi Jr., they have given their blessing. They are executive producers. I don't know how involved they are, but they have given their blessing to have Nicole play her. And I think she's going to knock it out of the park.
Well, Aaron Sorkin and Nicole Kidman, is that okay?
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's okay.
I was about to say, when do we have to defend Nicole Kidman being in a movie? Like, I think she'll do great. She usually does.
This whole conversation, it just feels icky to me at this stage. Like maybe when they're maybe when casting's happening, but I think that there's a decorum for actors, and one of them is you don't talk about the roles that you gave up. and passed on that somebody else knocked out of the park. And I think another one might be like when someone's cast, I don't know, like let's at least see it first.
Right.
But also, I don't have a horse in this race. I don't. I don't.
Coming up on DBL, Alfonso Ribeiro joins us live. There he is! Yay!
Yeah.
Did he really work alongside the Jackson 5 back in the day? Do not go anywhere. We're going to find out.
Closed captioning provided by
Erica, you said something interesting about like it feels icky to even talk about this after the roles have been cast. I think we're in this weird place where now a legit A-list actress, no argument there. They get cast in something and people are like, are you sure? Like, it's crazy.
Even our very own Tori has always stuck up for Deborah Messing. She believes having the role. Now that Tori's starting to see more about it being a drama.
No, you missed the other show.
Oh, she
She doubled down.
She's dying on that
She's
hill.
not alone, though. If you go online, there's a whole group of people that are
I'm
attached
sure we'll do
to
more.
Deborah Messing playing, because there was this one episode in Will and Grace where you got to see Deborah Messing play Lucille Ball, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly how Lucy is. But
that's going to be 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I don't have an issue, I don't have an issue with fans chiming in and being like, I really wish, whatever. I think it was more so that Deborah Messing kind of fanned the flames of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems a little bitter. And I think when
you could say that.
Right. I mean, it's just I don't know. Like if someone else was cast in a situation that I thought, I was super qualified for, I'm not sure I would be public about it. Well, I know I wouldn't. First of all, okay, it's bitter as hell, y'all.
There you go. Just spit it out.
It's just bitter.
Just spit it out.
It makes me feel like, girl, no, because Deborah Messing is brilliant and talented in her own right. Like, there will be other roles. In fact, there could be other roles as Lucy that would make sense for her to play in the future. How many biopics or whatever have been made about Whitney Houston or anyone else for that matter? And it's never the same person. So I just think this feels like I don't
Erica, you've been tripping over biopic and biography
I know,
since we started. Every time it's like bio.
Because I want to say bio.
No,
I don't know.
Since we started.
Before taking over as the host of America's Funniest Home Videos, he was a child star that we all loved, who grew up to play TV's preppy Carlton Banks in the hit sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he's still making us laugh today. Alfonso Ribeiro joins us live. Hey, Alfonso!
Hey, guys. How are ya?
We're doing well now that you're here. So you starred, I just learned this today, and it blew my mind. Okay, so we all know that you starred in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You just learned that?
But wait for it, Albert. Wait, I used to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like none other. But here's what I did not know. I had no idea that you had to choose between that show or Will Smith's future wife, Jada Pinkett Smith show on A Different World. Why did you end up choosing the role of Carlton Banks, and did you ever talk to both Will and Jada about that decision?
Oh, well, I mean, no. I mean, obviously, let's just say in hindsight, it was a very clear win. But it was an opportunity. I had done a guest spot on A Different World, a character that was going to come back the next season with Jada. Jada was going to come back, and I was coming back, and I had the opportunity to audition for The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I just felt like starting something new, starting something that was off the ground, that was going to be a lot more fun. The role had a lot more juice and was, three-dimensional, and I felt like I could do more with it. So I chose to go with that one instead of doing A Different World. I think it worked out.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that juice and three-dimensionality.
Yes.
Lord have mercy.
Yes.
I don't think anybody's ever said that word.
I'll just make that up and stumble all over it. My bad. Because you guys really had the opportunity to tackle some issues that we're still speaking about this day. And you know, in his shocking new memoir, Mill Swift, Lord have mercy.
Is he getting you tongue-tied?
You know what? Honestly, Alfonso, I'm going to be very honest.
She feel a little something. You feel a little something, girl. You feel something.
Alfonso, I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie. I am getting tongue-tied. You were like one of my crushes growing up, and I swear to you, it comes out. I swear to you, this happens to me.
I could tell she was feeling a little something. I knew.
Oh my gosh! Wait a second, Alfonso. Erica never gets tongue-tied.
She's never done it.
So I'm just going to savor this moment because I always get tongue-tied. Erica.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my God.
Gotcha. And I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
This also happened to me when I met Zach Morris. So,
okay. All right. No different.
So, Will Smith says he remembers the moment that Fresh Prince jumped the shark. It was during season 5, episode 15, when your character, Carlton, decided to carry a gun. So do you feel the same way Will does about this episode?
You know, when I read that, I was like, what that dude talking about? He don't know nothing about jumping the shark. He making it up as he goes. The reality was that Will's career was jumping off. There was no question that he was going to become a movie star. And, you know, at the end of that season, which is the part that he is saying is true, he did come to all of us and say, listen, this is my last season doing the show. I'm going to leave, but I'm going to give you guys one more season so that you guys can figure out what you want to do after that. But you know, I felt like this show could continue to go on. And I do know that for him, and he'd always said this, that he felt like we started to regurgitate storylines, that we were just coming up with new ways to say kind of the same thing. And I understood that. Shows continue to do that, and shows always find new ways. But that is kind of what life is like. Things don't just happen to a person one time in their life. Sometimes it happens over and over again in many different ways. And that's kind of what true life is all about. So I didn't really have a problem with that, but I understood that his movie career was going to jump off, and he'd already done Independence Day and Bad Boys running around Miami with no shirt on. How was he going to be the corny, big-eared guy that was, you know, being silly?
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you. Keep going, Jeff.
Alfonso, America's Funniest Home Videos is one of the longest-running primetime shows on TV. But my question is, why do you think people are still tuning in when they could just watch the internet?
Well, because family television no longer exists. We don't have a way to sit down and watch a show together. And, you know, ABC having it at 7 o'clock on Sunday nights, it's that getting ready for the week and sitting down together and laughing together. You could be with grandma, you could be with the grandkids, you could be everyone in between, and there's something for everyone. And look, yes, there's a way that you could go online and you could absolutely find funny videos, but you're never going to find them packaged the way we do it, and you're never going to find an entire hour's worth of great videos knowing that you're going to laugh the whole time for everybody. You go on the internet and you start searching for videos, you don't know where you're going to end up.
It's true. That's the best answer.
So well said. Thank you so much for joining us, Alfonso. We're going to go ahead and get Erica.
Erica, you want to say goodbye?
Yeah.
Put on some Sade and give her a dark room.
Oh, my goodness.
Bye,
girl.
America's Funniest Home Videos, Sunday nights on ABC. Thank you, Alfonso. We'll be right back.
That was amazing.
All right.
Thanks, man.
The Medicare enrollment deadline is only...
Veterans Day and Memorial Day both honor those who served our country, with one main difference. Memorial Day honors military members who have died, while Veterans Day recognizes the service and sacrifice of all America's veterans. Then there's the date. Memorial Day changes because it's observed on the last Monday in May. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is always November 11th. Here's why. Veterans Day originally came out of World War I. Although the war technically ended with the Treaty of Versailles, the fighting stopped months earlier. The Allied nations and Germany agreed to a truce that took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month back in 1918. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th Armistice Day. In 1926, Congress made a formal declaration calling for a celebration of peace. 28 years later, Congress changed the name to Veterans Day, making sure it honored all American veterans, not just those who served in World War I. And that's connecting the dots. For 9 News Morning.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control? There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day. We've got the sweetest deals from our friends at Morning Save. You're not going to believe the incredible discount Steph showed Tori earlier. Check it out. All right, what do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey Tori, I have got some wonderful products and even better deals, and I can't wait to share them with you. So first up, we've got Had a Neon stainless steel personal blender deal. So it includes one blender, 2 different blending cups, and 2 travel lids. So you can take your drink with you to the gym, to the office, or anywhere while you're out and about. And the blender features 3 adjustable speeds and a suction cup feet. That means it's going to keep it really secure on your counter.
Wow.
So normally it's $53.
Okay.
Yeah, but we've got it, Tori, for only $25, saving our viewers 53%.
Guys, this is such a good present for any outdoorsy person.
Isn't this great?
Or anyone in a small apartment. It's such a good price, great product.
Now, Tori, it's time to get your teeth clean with Fairy Will Electric Toothbrush Duo Set, where you will get 2 bases, 8 brush heads, 2 interdental heads, and 2 cases. So this set has a 2-minute smart timer that pauses every 30 seconds, which will give you a dentist recommended clean every time.
Nice.
It's got 5 high-performance brush modes that suit everyone's teeth and gums, even those that have got some sensitivities.
Yeah.
And the blue indicator bristles will remind you when it's time to replace your brush head. But you won't be running out anytime soon, because these brush heads will last you 3 months each.
Wow.
So normally it's $100.
Okay, I mean, that's still good.
But we've got it, Tori, for only $49, which means our viewers save up to 51%. Now, this next product is absolutely genius. It is a 2-pack of Estelle Rechargeable Vanity Lights.
Whoa.
So this deal includes 2 vanity lights with 2 USB cords and 2 suction cup holders. So you can pick, look at this, you ready? You can choose how bright you want it.
Oh, this is good for getting your makeup done.
Oh yeah, this is great. So normally it's as much as $46.
Okay, kind of pricey. A
But
little bit.
now it's $19.
Oh, that's great.
Saving 59%.
Can I be honest? I wish I had thought of this product, because it's just the suction cups that you could take it anywhere. A hotel.
Anywhere.
If you're staying over at like your boyfriend's or partner's like house. Brilliant product, great price.
Okay, and last, but certainly not least, we've got double dip fall or holiday nail dip starter kit.
Oh, I love dip.
I know, so you'll get 6 dip powders for your DIY nails, as well as applicators to make this a professional salon look. So great nails are as simple as coat, dip, file, and shine. That's all you need to do to become your new favorite nail technician. And they last for weeks and require no maintenance, and they can even help strengthen your nails. Normally, these are as much as $90, which is the cost of going to the salon.
I was going to say, that's exactly the salon cost, yes.
But we've got it, Tori, for $35, saving 61%.
Oh my Lord, if you guys don't know, everyone gets dip now. We used to get gel, now I know it's dip, and it really does last way longer.
Oh yes.
That'll save you in the long run.
And I think as well, this might look like a small pot, but this pot will last you oh my gosh,
forever.
So many times. And when you have dip on your nails, it lasts for, like I said, weeks.
It's crazy good, guys.
This set is quite the must-have if you are into doing your nails.
Very good. For any people who are into makeup, fashionistas out there, great gift. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. Again, thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Diabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 American adults are pre-diabetic, but the CDC says more than 84% of those people don't know they have it. A simple blood sugar test will tell you if you're pre-diabetic. The problem is many people aren't getting tested for it. Dr. Griffin Rogers, director of the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive, and Kidney Diseases at the NIH, says undiagnosed and untreated pre-diabetes can develop into even worse health conditions.
If you have pre-diabetes, within the next 5 to 10 years, you have a 50% chance of developing frank diabetes.
If patients aren't getting tested for pre-diabetes, then is there another way for people to know if they're pre-diabetic? Let's verify. Our sources are the CDC, the American Diabetes Association, Dr. Michael Berry, Vice Chair of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, and Dr. Griffin Rogers. Our sources say the short answer is no. There's not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. But according to the CDC, some people are more at risk for prediabetes than others, including being 45 years or older, having a parent, brother, or sister with type 2 diabetes, and or being physically active less than 3 times a week. According to the American Diabetes Association, quote, there are no clear symptoms of prediabetes, so you may have it and not know it. But before people develop type 2 diabetes, they almost always have prediabetes, unquote.
The task force recommends that for adults aged 35 to 70 who have overweight or obesity, that they be screened for diabetes and prediabetes.
So we can verify, no, there is not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. So if you want to know, just ask for a test at your next appointment. With your Verify, I'm Adiande Till.
There is, it's a palpable sense of urgency this year among employers who are looking for seasonal workers.
This year, employers are trying hard to convince you to work for them. Want proof? Just look at jobsiteindeed.com. More than 10% of seasonal job postings there mention urgently hiring. Last year, those words only appeared on 1% of postings. Workers are still in short supply. Some are taking their time getting back into the workforce after either getting laid off during the pandemic or quitting. And frankly, it pays to be choosy. If you're looking for a side hustle this holiday, keep an eye out for how an employer is sweetening the pot. Amazon, for example, is offering a signing bonus of $3,000 in some locations, plus an extra $3 an hour for working certain shifts. The bottom line, do your research and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. The extra money you make will help. The holiday season will be more expensive because of product shortages, among other things. And that's connecting the dots.
Tomorrow on DBL, a mother is sex trafficked for 5 years. How she escaped this horrifying nightmare.
This can happen to me. It can happen to anyone.
Plus, our red carpet interview with 50 Shades of Grey star Jamie Dornan. What made him break out singing?
Never be denied.
Everlasting love.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back. So, Jeff, we got a photo for you.
For me?
Yep.
I thought we were going to roast Eric.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
You like it.
No, I would separate myself from her. I would let her do her thing.
She might separate.
Oh, you do the same thing.
Look at the one on, yeah.
What are you talking about? My hand's in my pocket in the last one.
No, the left one you did.
Erica blushed for Alfonso Ribeiro.
Every day. Bye, guys.
November 11th is when the country thanks those who served our nation. But does Veterans Day honor active duty service members? Let's verify. Our sources are the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the USO. Veterans Day got its start in 1938 when Congress made Armistice Day an official holiday to honor those who fought in World War I. Eventually, veterans of later wars lobbied Congress to recognize them, too. In 1954, Congress officially renamed Armistice Day Veterans Day. As its name implies, Veterans Day is only intended to recognize veterans, who are people who have previously served in the military, not those on active duty. The VA explains Veterans Day is largely intended to thank and acknowledge living veterans, although those who have passed away are also remembered on Veterans Day. Those who died while serving are honored on Memorial Day. So it's false that Veterans Day honors active duty service members. Instead, the USO says that's what Armed Forces Day is for on the third Sunday of May. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control?
There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start.
DBL is always all new every day.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Could Kyle Rittenhouse walk free? Why the defense is demanding a mistrial. A Marine survives a traumatic brain injury while in combat. His incredible story of getting his life back.
If 0 was killing myself and 100 was me before war, I was at a 9.
And joining us live today, Allison Sweeney and Alfonso Ribeiro.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, November 11th. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica, and today is Veterans Day, and we want to honor all those who have served and sacrificed on behalf of our nation, our veterans, and of course their family and friends. Earlier today, the president attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the tomb of the unknown soldier in Arlington National Cemetery. Today's ceremony also included a centennial commemoration of the site. And for the first time in nearly 100 years, the public was allowed to lay flowers at the tomb this week. The tomb has been a final resting place for 3 unknown U.S. service members and has also served as a symbolic grave for unidentified or missing American soldiers. And I just want to say on behalf of our panel, this day is very special to all of us. It's all of our fathers have served on behalf of our country, and to all of our viewers out there that had served or are presently serving or know someone or related to someone, we just want to thank you. So we do have an update in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, who is on trial for killing 2 people and injuring a third during unrest last summer in Kenosha, Wisconsin. So the judge overseeing the trial said he would rule later on a request for a mistrial from defense attorneys. This comes after the 18-year-old took the stand yesterday and broke down sobbing. A lot of folks had some very strong reactions, including the sole survivor who was shot by Rittenhouse in the arm. Here's what he told GMA earlier today.
I think anytime you see your would-be murderer on the stand, it's emotional. To me, it seemed like a child who had just gotten caught doing something that he wasn't supposed to. More upset that he was caught and less upset about what he had done and what he had taken. And the numerous lives that he affected.
LeBron James also weighed in, tweeting, "What tears? I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court." Now, a lot of people are making jokes of it because sometimes when you have such a serious situation, you need some levity, especially if you think you're calling it for what it is. Do you agree with LeBron James?
Well, I think we all watched that video just like we watched the video of him actually committing the act. And, you know, you can choose to see what your eyes or believe what your eyes are seeing, or you can cultivate a story that contextualizes it better for whatever your needs or agenda might be. You know, we saw this yesterday. It was very fresh. I said I can't make sense out of nonsense. I stand behind that statement. And I appreciate the actual victim speaking out, because I think a lot of times when we see these stories, we forget about the victims and how their families and friends must feel. So I think that part is very important to this entire story.
Yeah, it becomes a spectacle, and it's almost that's what it's becoming already. We're only a couple days in, right? We lose the meaning of what is at stake in a lot of these stories, and it's just, is he guilty? Is he innocent? Even if there's a video, it's up to these lawyers that find some sort of loophole in the back door, and then the person walks or they get locked up. It's like, I don't know if we should be airing all this, and not this in particular. I'm saying in general, to start making it a spectacle that it is. That's just.
I mean, Jeff, you hit it on the head. We're in the era where video doesn't even matter, and it's because none of it matters. Erica, Sam, Jeff. I think that the fact that we're even talking about this shows you we're already so partisan that as soon as you sit down, before the video even plays, you already have a narrative in your head of what is happening. What is he? Is he a murderer or a vigilante? Is he a lost teenager, or is he the face of the alt-right? So it's like, how are we looking at this video? Is besides the point. This could air in 10 years, and you're going to feel the same way. So there's a sadness that there are no facts anymore. It's just how you feel, and you're just already. That's what it is, and you cannot have your mind changed. And I think that's a scary place for a lot of us to be.
And a lot of people say everybody deserves their day in court. Everybody is innocent and presumed guilty. What frustrated me was you mentioned victims. They're not even allowed to use those words in court, per the judge. That, to me, is such a slap in the face on our democracy and what justice really is. If everybody's supposed to have their fair day in court, then how come the victims don't have their fair day in court? We're not even allowed to call them victims in the court of law. If I was that mother mourning my son who's buried and knowing that in the court of law, televised in front of the entire nation, they're not labeled as a victim after their life was taken from them, I would not believe in our justice system. And I know a lot of people feel that very way, and I'll leave it at that. So we have a quick update on what Matthew McConaughey said yesterday about vaccinating his kids. He clarified on Instagram that he's not against vaccinating children. He says his eldest son, 13-year-old Levi, is fully vaccinated for COVID-19. So there you go. We talked about this yesterday, Jeff. You had a very strong stance. You felt like people were mislabeling Matthew McConaughey without hearing the whole story.
Well, I think they mislabel everybody. They just want to take people down. Everyone, speaking of spectacle, that's what this is, right? Asking a question as a concerned citizen, as a concerned parent, as a concerned neighbor, is questioning what people's beliefs are, right? And I'm saying this in general. Obviously, Matthew, would you say he was being a concerned father just by asking a question?
Right. Look, Jeff, you're talking about asking a question or something financial in terms of clickbait, and that's where we are.
Yeah.
You were on this with the Jason Momoa story when he was asked that question about his character in Game of Thrones, and you called that out months ago. And here we are with that same issue. And unfortunately, journalism and the reporter is in a position where if Erica walks in and says, this is my headline for this story, her editor might say, change that, or no one's going to look at this. So we're in this weird thing where the journalists have to have clickbait to keep their job. And unfortunately, the victim is the interviewee. And so who's at fault here? The journalist is trying to keep a roof over their head, or the person that's answering a question honestly? I think it's just a shame when capitalism is always going to run head into honesty, and this is where we're going to be.
I think you'd be an honest journalist without feeding someone's narrative. And I think that's what you get not paid more for, but unfortunately you get these social points in the media, right? And you're like, oh, look, I took down Matthew McConaughey when there's nothing to take down. And that's where we're at. Tomorrow it'll be someone else.
Good conversations. Do not go away. Our interview with actress Allison Sweeney coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by...
Yes, So we're talking about clickbait and, you know, the interviewer, the interviewee, all these things. I just feel like it really goes to the lack of, like, attention span that audiences truly have. There's a reason why the segments or that, you know, like TikTok had grown in such large popularity because it's very small sound bites because our attention spans are so short. So I don't think it's in fault of journalism. First of all, I don't like just blanketly saying journalism because I have tried to drive home the point that everyone who has a platform and everyone who's in media are not journalists. We overuse that word, and I think it is feeding the flames of what has now been referred to as fake news. We have to understand where the credibility lies and who has a journalistic integrity, meaning their bias cannot be involved, meaning that they have to present both sides of the story and contextualize the events at hand. So when we say it's the journalist or the interview, it's like such a broad span because there are so many platforms that are very one-sided, intentionally one-sided, and are meant to be in an echo chamber. That's called editorial, not journalism. So I think that's very important to say, but it really does come down to the attention span of our demographics. We're just not in it for that long. Yeah.
A minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
Stop.
There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
DBL is always all new every day.
What's that?
I don't know.
A love note from Christmas past.
Dear Nikki.
But who sent it?
Hey, aren't you curious? Oh, of course, I'm curious.
Could it be him?
You just found it?
Or him?
Oh. What?
It's a holiday mystery.
Yes, that's exactly what I love to watch on a Sunday night. Welcome back to DBL, best known as Sammy Brady on Days of Our Lives and as the presenter on Biggest Loser. Is there anything this actress, director, author, and TV host can't do? Today, we're going to chat with TV legend Allison Sweeney.
Yes.
Hey.
What a career.
Thank you. My gosh, what an introduction.
Well, it's true. I mean, you're holiday royalty at Hallmark. I watch every single one of your holiday movies. So is the holiday season especially magical for you and your family? Do I even see a snowman decoration already in the background?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready. I love the holidays. They're my favorite time of year. I love everything about it. I love all the traditions. So being a part of the Hallmark Countdown to Christmas has been so fun because you just get to extend the holiday magic.
Allison, we're two in the same. I also put up my Christmas decorations, me and my wife, so I appreciate you for that. And I also heard you wanted to be on The Amazing Race. You auditioned for it a couple of years ago. I was actually on it, so if you want to send me your tape, I know some people over there.
Yeah, you have a hookup. I love that show.
That was a complete
by the way,
joke.
I hate to tell you, I put my audition tape in like a decade ago. I've been watching that show since day one.
Would you still do it today, like if they asked you to be on it?
I mean, are you kidding? Yeah, of course I would. I love it. I think about it all the time. Every time I travel, I play the game at the airport of like, could I have gotten there faster? Or what if I know how to drive a stick shift? I feel that's a big plus for me.
Who would your partner be very quickly?
Not my husband. He's not into that.
Great answer.
He would judge us later. My best friend and I talk about it all the time.
I love it.
I feel like that you put that in the universe is going to happen.
Yes.
Now, you reunited.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you reunited with friend of the show, Cameron Matheson, in the new Hannah Swenson movie, which is amazing. So we want to know.
Yeah, Cam.
What we have to, because we're going to see him again, we need to know an embarrassing behind-the-scenes story about Cameron that we can throw in his face, of course.
Yes.
Well, if you guys know Cameron, you know how healthy he is as an eater. And my favorite thing about Cameron is he's just such a sincere actor. He works so hard at what we're doing. And nothing brings me more delight than the fact that his character has to eat these cookies and these sweet treats and desserts in the scenes. And, it's not just one take. It's, 3 takes from this camera angle and from other camera angles. And so he finds himself sometimes, I'm not kidding, in sugar shock, like ODing on the amount of sugar and candy and desserts that he eats, and it makes me laugh every time.
Well, if he needs a stand-in or like a body double to eat the cookies, I will come in, eat them,
You're
and
happy
then
to
disappear. It's
take
gonna have
one
to be
for
a
the
quick
team. I appreciate it.
And you look just like
I know, it's going to have to be a weird,
Yes.
and sunglasses on.
Okay, I have to know, what was it like returning to Days of Our Lives after 2 decades to play America's favorite villain, Sammy Brady? And did it feel different, or was it just like coming home?
My God,
It is like coming home because I feel so comfortable, and they're my family, the crew, and as you guys know, you just see people every day, and you just feel like it just feels so welcoming. But I was really nervous because I love what I do. I love being an actor. I love the fans and their reactions, and it matters to me that I deliver, oh, Allie's coming back, Sammy's going to be back. I feel I have to just do. And so I was more nervous the night before, really reading my lines again and hoping it all worked out. I had butterflies in my stomach on the way to work that first day.
That's relatable,
awesome.
though. Okay, so we got to get to your film. And Open by Christmas, your best friend Simone is struggling to let go of her 16-year-old son as he's growing up. Now, your oldest son is 16 years old. So how are you finding it hard to let him get older? I mean, I have a 4-year-old and an 18-month-old, and I'm already like, don't get bigger, don't.
I hate it.
Don't get older. I know. You feel that way every step of the way. And what I love about this movie is that the 2 best friends are at very different places in their lives and in their romances. And so I think for the viewers, they get a little bit of everything. And the actress Erica Durance, who's so talented to play Simone, she and I had that conversation. She has kids who are older too. And so she really related to that. And we both felt like moms who have these teen sons or teen children, just are really going to identify with that feeling of every holiday, every last one. You're like, you feel yourself holding on to those memories and then making them maybe too precious, maybe sort of holding on too tight.
Right.
Is the line in the scene where we kind of have that best friend talk where you have to really sort of like tell your friend what's happening. You have to be honest. And that's another part of the movie I love, is just the depiction of the female friendship in it. But my kid's getting older too, and he drives a car.
You're making me emotional.
So nervous.
I know. Like,
I worry about all those things.
Well, we've run out of time. You're going to have to come back and see us. Thank you for joining us today. And to all of our viewers out there, guess what? Open by Christmas premieres November 12th, right around the corner on the Hallmark Channel. So be sure to tune in and watch. Thank you again, Allison.
You were great, Allison.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Nothing is.
Veterans Day and Memorial Day both honor those who served our country, with one main difference. Memorial Day honors military members who have died, while Veterans Day recognizes the service and sacrifice of all America's veterans. Then there's the date. Memorial Day changes because it's observed on the last Monday in May. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is always November 11th. Here's why. Veterans Day originally came out of World War I. Although the war technically ended with the Treaty of Versailles, the fighting stopped months earlier. The Allied nations and Germany agreed to a truce that took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month back in 1918. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th Armistice Day. In 1926, Congress made a formal declaration calling for a celebration of peace. 28 years later, Congress changed the name to Veterans Day, making sure it honored all American veterans, not just those who served in World War I. And that's connecting the dots. For 9 News Morning.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control? There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back. This next story is a special one that we're happy to share on Veterans Day. Richard Casper is a celebrated U.S. Marine who suffered a traumatic brain injury during combat in Iraq. At his lowest point of recovery, he decided to change his path and fight a different fight, one for his fellow brothers dealing with the after effects of war. Here is his incredible story.
After 9/11, that's when I was a junior. I saw those towers fall, and I just said, you know what? I want to be the first person overseas.
Richard Casper joined the military at 17, ready to fight for his country.
I went to Fallujah, Iraq in 2006, 2007 with 1st Tanks. Within the first 4 months of me being in Iraq, my Humvee was blown up 4 separate times, which led to a left traumatic brain injury, and then my buddy was shot and killed beside me. They said I wasn't allowed to work anymore. I was unfit for duty. When I transitioned back home, I didn't know anything was wrong with me. I knew I had migraines for like months straight. I went to college for business at this community college. That's where I found all my injuries. I started going to school and I started failing all my classes. And so that's when I knew there was an issue and when I was going downhill fast. And that's when I got diagnosed with my left traumatic brain injury, my PTSD. And so that's when I was even more down in the dump. What I tell people is if 0 was killing myself and 100 was me before war, I was at a 9 at my lowest point, and then I discovered art and music.
But Richard found a creative way to fight through the depression.
So I used to doodle all the time. I used to draw. How about I get an easy degree in art? And that's what ended up changing my life, that decision, because in the art classes is where I actually learned how to tell my story without telling my story. And I said, you know what? I want to create a nonprofit out of this because I think so many veterans are going to benefit from telling their story.
Taking matters into his own hands, he launched Creative Vets to offer support and relief to those who have sacrificed for our country. The program uses forms of arts to help veterans cope.
If we can get this music out to the people, to the veterans, we're going to save so many more veterans' lives just by them listening to our music, letting them know that they're not alone out there.
I'm so excited about our next guest. He is a Purple Heart recipient and one of Time Magazine's Next Generation Leaders. Please give a hero's welcome to DBL, Richard Casper.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us. And definitely thank you for your service. We celebrate veterans and their service every day, but especially on Veterans Day. So what does this day mean to you?
In my world now, every day is Veterans Day. And so this is just another one of those days that we really get to highlight and that the world's actually listening to us.
Richard, we're thankful for you again.
Amen.
Thank you for your service. Could you tell us about the day in Iraq that changed your life?
Yeah, well, multiple days changed my life. The major one was where my buddy was shot and killed beside me on December 14th in 2006. But then on top of that, there was 4 other days where my Humvee was blown up. So I ended up with a left traumatic brain injury. But honestly, now that I look back on them, they're not blessings, but they are what started the process, which started my healing, which now heals a bunch of veterans through the process.
So, you know, I'm going to ask you to take us there. You're struggling with school and you're struggling with your healing, but then you discovered art therapy. Like, how did that save your life?
So when I transitioned out of the Marine Corps, struggling not to be able to speak in front of people anymore, not being able to go to job interviews because my anxiety and depression were so bad, I thought maybe an art degree would be a cop-out. But art 100% changed my life.
So when was the moment that you decided to create Creative Vets?
So I graduate from the school there in Chicago. I'm almost fully back to normal. I wrote a song in Nashville that helped me express what I was going through that way. So I have a song, I have my art, and I'm ready to tackle the world. And then I look back and I say, wait, is any other Marine or combat vet gonna do what I just did? So then the next step, I started searching. Are there organizations that do this? There wasn't. There was nobody enrolling veterans into these art schools, bringing them to Nashville to write songs. And so I knew we had to do this.
I love it. Richard, tell us about this amazing collaboration with one of Nashville's biggest labels and country music stars.
Oh my gosh, this has been a dream come true since we started. I remember my first board meeting say, could you imagine that we release veteran-created music for veterans by veterans, in which people could listen to this music, royalties comes back to our organization to keep bringing veterans to do this, and the veteran who told their story gets money coming back to them to show that their story is important and it's worth something. So now by partnering with Big Machine Records and putting top-tier artists on our songs, when a veteran's sitting at their home just looking for someone to connect with and they find a random song and it sounds like Justin Moore, and they look at the artist and they say, wait, this is Creative Vets featuring Justin Moore, and they search us, they find out that we'll pay for their flights, their food, their housing from anywhere in the country to us. We're legitimately reaching in the homes and pulling them out through these partnerships with Big Machine Records.
You are a godsend, Richard. You truly are. Some people are just born to serve.
Right.
I mean, you were serving in the military, now you're serving and you're saving lives. It's an honor to meet you.
Yes.
And to our viewers out there, you can make a donation at creativevets.org. And the music is available across all major streaming platforms and digital retailers. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Diabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 American adults are pre-diabetic, but the CDC says more than 84% of those people don't know they have it. A simple blood sugar test will tell you if you're pre-diabetic. The problem is many people aren't getting tested for it. Dr. Griffin Rogers, director of the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive, and Kidney Diseases at the NIH, says undiagnosed and untreated prediabetes can develop into even worse health conditions.
If you have prediabetes, within the next 5 to 10 years, you have a 50% chance of developing frank diabetes.
If patients aren't getting tested for prediabetes, then is there another way for people to know if they're pre-diabetic? Let's verify. Our sources are the CDC, the American Diabetes Association, Dr. Michael Berry, Vice Chair of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, and Dr. Griffin Rogers. Our sources say the short answer is no. There's not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. But according to the CDC, some people are more at risk for prediabetes than others, including being 45 years or older, having a parent, brother, or sister with type 2 diabetes, and or being physically active less than 3 times a week. According to the American Diabetes Association, quote, there are no clear symptoms of prediabetes, so you may have it and not know it. But before people develop type 2 diabetes, they almost always have prediabetes, unquote.
The task force recommends that for adults aged 35 to 70 who have overweight or obesity, that they be screened for diabetes and prediabetes.
So we can verify, no, there is not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. So if you want to know, just ask for a test at your next appointment. With your Verify, I'm Adiande Till.
There is, it's a palpable sense of urgency this year among employers who are looking for seasonal workers.
This year, employers are trying hard to convince you to work for them. Want proof? Just look at jobsiteindeed.com. More than 10% of seasonal job postings there mention urgently hiring. Last year, those words only appeared on 1% of postings. Workers are still in short supply. Some are taking their time getting back into the workforce after either getting laid off during the pandemic or quitting. And frankly, it pays to be choosy. If you're looking for a side hustle this holiday, keep an eye out for how an employer is sweetening the pot. Amazon, for example, is offering a signing bonus of $3,000 in some locations, plus an extra $3 an hour for working certain shifts. The bottom line, do your research and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. The extra money you make will help. The holiday season will be more expensive because of product shortages, among other things. And that's connecting the dots.
But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. We are getting a closer look at Nicole Kidman playing Lucille Ball. Was she the right choice? Plus, Luke Bryan makes a vaccine joke that falls flat. And more moments from last night's Country Music Awards.
November 11th is when the country thanks those who served our nation. But does Veterans Day honor active duty service members? Let's verify. Our sources are the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the USO. Veterans Day got its start in 1938 when Congress made Armistice Day an official holiday to honor those who fought in World War I. Eventually, veterans of later wars lobbied Congress to recognize them, too. In 1954, Congress officially renamed Armistice Day Veterans Day. As its name implies, Veterans Day is only intended to recognize veterans, who are people who have previously served in the military, not those on active duty. The VA explains Veterans Day is largely intended to thank and acknowledge living veterans, although those who have passed away are also remembered on Veterans Day. Those who died while serving are honored on Memorial Day. So it's false that Veterans Day honors active duty service members. Instead, the USO says that's what Armed Forces Day is for on the third Sunday of May. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No! I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control? There's no such thing as guns. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. So the CMA Awards were back in full force last night. Did you guys watch? Well, the show opened with Luke Bryan, who was the host, taking a jab at Aaron Rodgers. Take a look.
We're following all the health protocols to keep everyone safe. And it is so great to be here with all my fellow artists, tested and together. Or immunized. Who is it? Just playing.
The cameras then went to Carrie Underwood, who gave a little side eye. Her husband, former NHL player Mike Fisher, has defended Aaron's decision not to get vaccinated. Carrie lost out to Luke Combs for Entertainer of the Year. Other notable moments. TJ Osborne kissed his boyfriend after winning Vocal Duo of the Year. Yes, and he did come out as gay earlier this year. Jimmy Allen got emotional after being named New Artist of the Year. He is only the second Black country artist to get the award. And Mickey Guyton performed her song Love My Hair with Brittany Spencer and Madeline Edwards. The song was inspired by Faith Fenity, who was sent home because her braided hair violated her school's hair policy in Louisiana. Wow, Erica, I mean, you've worked in country music. You've definitely seen it evolve. Has it become more, quote unquote, woke in your opinion?
I did a stint in country radio. Let me just clarify, I'm not a country artist.
Sing us a little something.
Yeah, just a little known fact about me. You know, Nikki Guyton, who has been just an amazing artist for country music, who is not played on any country radio station across the country.
What?
Just so y'all know that. No, she is not.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So this is, but also Nikki Guyton has to be one of the, she's a very recognizable name. People know who she is, and it is a mystery still. The year, she was doing something of the year that I worked in country, and I was supposed to go to the CMAs. My ticket got pulled by the radio station. But little side note there. I really do want to say this because I think it's very important. I was very excited to be in that position at that time because you could see that there was a change happening. To see that display last night, and a viewer, one of our viewers actually sent me that video. I got it at like 5 o'clock in the morning and I was bawling. I did miss the show, so this was something I was seeing for the first time. And not only Faith introducing her and explaining the story, but also contextualizing the Crown Act on that platform. I thought it was a very powerful thing. I was very proud of that moment, and I thought it was just beautiful to see.
Why did it make you cry? Did it remind you of things that you have gone through?
Well, the Nikki Guyton song about Faith is, talking about the idea that she tried to hide herself by hiding her hair so that she could fit in to this broader society, and it taught her not to have the respect for who she was and who she needed to present herself to be in the world. And I think that that is a story that resonates with a lot of people, but it's very much done in a echo chamber. This is an opportunity for people to hear these messages who aren't in the chamber to hear the echo. So this is a giant step forward, and I thought it was just a brilliant moment.
Love that. Did you watch with Jordan? I know you guys usually
We watched part of it, and then I'm like,
what do you think of Luke Bryan?
Luke Bryan, I wanted to ask you, Al.
Right,
I thought we were going to move on. What did you think about that joke in the beginning? Because he goes, everybody here is tested, almost like we're better than. He never said anyone was vaccinated. So obviously he didn't write his own jokes.
Right.
Do you think that joke kind of fell flat, knowing that people in the audience were not vaccinated but tested positive just to get in the doors?
I think it fell flat, and that's kind of what disappointed me as a person that's performed in front of like many audiences. Some are more liberal, some are very, very conservative. Usually conservative audiences, when you perform in front of a lot of military, a lot of police officers, they don't care what you say. I remember I did a show with my USO tour, and I was like, hey, what's the language situation? And they were like, people shoot at us. We don't care what you say. Right. And so, like, usually that's the mentality of conservatives. So I was really surprised and a little bit disappointed that that audience couldn't poke fun at itself. I thought it was a good joke. It's fine. Yeah.
Fair enough. So speaking of the CMAs, Nicole Kidman showed off her abs and her height on the red carpet with her husband Keith Urban last night. And we are getting another look at Nicole as Lucille Ball in her upcoming movie, Being the Ricardos.
I'd be like, what are you standing like that for?
I need you to help me save my marriage.
How many times I gotta explain where I was and what I was doing?
You gotta explain.
You being funny right now?
I'm Lucille Ball. When I'm being funny, you'll know it. This is getting out of hand. Have you been cheating on me?
The story's made up.
If they boo me?
If they boo you, we're done.
Sorry, I got lost for a second.
Wow.
First of all, amazing. I can't wait to see this. This is going to be fantastic for sure. But let's go back to that photo. Please, let's go back to real life, okay? She's a great actress.
What's wrong with that photo?
I would never, if my wife did that, we would get a divorce.
What?
She's showing the dress off.
Did what? What did she do?
Listen, I'm taking a picture of you, and then you're like,
she's
Superman? What are we doing, a movie poster? Just keep walking.
She is superhuman. She's flawless.
No, just keep going.
I'll just say, Jeff has never taken a photo with a black woman at the club, because that is with the fingers out to show the nails. It's fingers on the thigh to show the nail. Leg shows the dress off, show the cut of the dress.
But you
and the shoes.
So you're gonna, if someone's doing that, you're gonna be like,
you're
in the back.
This is not about you. You step back and let her. You're just there as just like almost the garnish in the picture.
Yeah, he looked like a side table.
He really did. That's looked like a fan.
I bet he's all about having his wife get the full attention.
Get out of there.
First of all, I do want to say, because there's still a lot of uproar of like people wanting Deborah Messing to play Lucille Ball instead of. Yeah, there is. Go online, and I think we even have a full screen between the two of them. But here's the thing. First of all, we all know Nicole Kidman is an incredible actor. People saying that she's not going to have the sense of humor to make the Lucille Ball jokes. Well, first and foremost, don't underestimate Nicole Kidman. Number two, she's playing Lucille Ball as Lucille Ball, not like the character that we all know.
It's a drama.
Right. Yes.
Not a comedy.
Exactly. I'm sure there will be, lighter moments, but also their kids, the Lucy and Desi, their names Lucy Jr. and Desi Jr., they have given their blessing. They are executive producers. I don't know how involved they are, but they have given their blessing to have Nicole play her. And I think she's going to knock it out of the park.
Well, Aaron Sorkin and Nicole Kidman, is that okay?
Yeah, I was about to
it's
say.
Okay.
I was about to say, when do we have to defend Nicole Kidman being in a movie? Like, I think she'll do great. She usually does.
This whole conversation, it just feels icky to me at this stage. You know, like maybe when they're maybe when casting's happening, but I think that there is a decorum for actors, and one of them is you don't talk about the roles that you gave up and passed on that somebody else knocked out of the park. And I think another one might be like when someone's cast, I don't know, like let's at least see it first. Right. But also, I don't have a horse in this race. I don't. I don't.
Coming up on DBL, Alfonso Ribeiro joins us live. There he is! Yay! Yeah. Did he really work alongside the Jackson 5 back in the day? Do not go anywhere. We're going to find out.
Closed captioning provided by
Erica, you said something interesting about like it feels icky to even talk about this after the roles have been cast. I think we're in this weird place where now a legit A-list actress, no argument there. They get cast in something and people are like, are you sure? Like, it's crazy.
Even our very own Tori has always stuck up for Deborah Messing. She believes having the role. Now that Tori's starting to see more about it being a drama.
No, you missed the other show.
Oh, she
she doubled down.
She's dying on that hill.
She's not alone, though. If you go online, there's a whole group of people that are attached to Deborah Messing playing, because there was this one episode in Will and Grace where you got to see Deborah Messing play Lucille Ball, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly how Lucy is. But
that's going to be 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I don't have an issue, I don't have an issue with fans chiming in and being like, I really wish, whatever. I think it was more so that Deborah Messing kind of fanned the flames of it. Mm-hmm. So it seems a little bitter. And I think when
you could say that,
right? I mean, it's just I don't know. Like if someone else was cast in a situation that I thought I was super qualified for, I'm not sure I would be public about it. Well, I know I wouldn't. First of all, okay, it's bitter as hell, y'all.
There you go. Just spit it out.
It's just bitter.
Just spit it out.
It makes me feel like, girl, no, because Deborah Messing is brilliant and talented in her own right. Like, there will be other roles. In fact, there could be other roles as Lucy that would make sense for her to play in the future. How many biopics or whatever have been made about Whitney Houston or anyone else for that matter? And it's never the same person. So I just think this feels like I don't
Erica, you've been tripping over biopic and biography
I know,
since we started. Every time it's like bio.
Because I want to say buyout.
No,
I don't know.
Since we started.
Before taking over as the host of America's Funniest Home Videos, he was a child star that we all loved, who grew up to play TV's preppy Carlton Banks in the hit sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he's still making us laugh today. Alfonso Ribeiro joins us live. Hey, Alfonso!
Hey, guys. How are ya?
We're doing well now that you're here. So you starred, I just learned this today, and it blew my mind. Okay, so we all know that you starred in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You just learned that?
But wait for it, Albert. Wait, I used to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like none other. But here's what I did not know. I had no idea that you had to choose between that show or Will Smith's future wife, Jada Pinkett Smith's show on A Different World. Why did you end up choosing the role of Carlton Banks, and did you ever talk to both Will and Jada about that decision?
Oh, well, I mean, no. I mean, obviously, you know, let's just say in hindsight, it was a very clear win. But, you know, it was an opportunity. I had done a guest spot on A Different World, a character that was going to come back the next season with Jada. Jada was going to come back, and I was coming back, and I had the opportunity to audition for The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I just felt like starting something new, starting something that was off the ground, that was going to be a lot more fun. The role had a lot more juice and was, you know, three-dimensional, and I felt like I could do more with it. So I chose to go with that one instead of doing A Different World. I think it worked out.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that juice and three-dimensionality.
Yeah, dimensionality.
Yes. Lord have mercy.
Yes.
Sorry.
I don't think anybody's ever said that
like,
word.
I'll just make that up and stumble all over it. My bad. Because you guys really had the opportunity to tackle some issues that we're still speaking about this day. And you know, in his shocking new memoir, Mill Swift, Lord have mercy.
Is he getting you tongue-tied?
You know what? Honestly, Alfonso, I'm going to be very honest.
She feel a little something. You feel a little something, girl? You feel something.
Alfonso, I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie. I am getting tongue-tied. You were like one of my crushes growing up, and I swear to you, it comes out. I swear to you, this happens to me.
I could tell she was feeling a little something. I knew.
Oh my gosh. Wait a second, Alfonso, Erica never gets tongue-tied.
She's never done it.
So I'm just going to savor this moment because I always get tongue-tied. Erica.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my God.
Gotcha.
I'm so sorry.
And I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
This also happened to me when I met Zach Morris. So,
Okay. All right. No different. No different.
So, Will Smith says he remembers the moment that Fresh Prince jumped the shark. It was during season 5, episode 15, when your character, Carlton, decided to carry a gun. So do you feel the same way Will does about this episode?
You know, when I read that, I was like, what that dude talking about? He don't know nothing about jumping the shark. He making it up as he goes. The reality was that Will's career was jumping off. There was no question that he was going to become a movie star. And, you know, at the end of that season, which is the part that he is saying is true, he did come to all of us and say, listen, this is my last season doing the show. I'm going to leave, but I'm going to give you guys one more season so that you guys can figure out what you want to do after that. But you know, I felt like this show could continue to go on. And I do know that for him, and he'd always said this, that he felt like we started to regurgitate storylines, that we were just coming up with new ways to say kind of the same thing. And I understood that. Shows continue to do that, and shows always find new ways. But that is kind of what life is like. Things don't just happen to a person one time in their life. Sometimes it happens over and over again in many different ways. And that's kind of what true life is all about. So I didn't really have a problem with that, but I understood that his movie career was going to jump off, and he'd already done Independence Day and Bad Boys, running around Miami with no shirt on. How was he going to be the corny, big-eared guy that was, you know, being silly?
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you. Keep going, Jeff.
Alfonso, America's Funniest Home Videos is one of the longest-running primetime shows on TV. But my question is, why do you think people are still tuning in when they could just watch the internet?
Well, because family television no longer exists. We don't have a way to sit down and watch a show together. And, you know, ABC having it at 7 o'clock on Sunday nights, it's that getting ready for the week and sitting down together and laughing together. You could be with grandma, you could be with the grandkids, you could be everyone in between, and there's something for everyone. And look, yes, there's a way that you could go online and you could absolutely find funny videos, but you're never going to find them packaged the way we do it, and you're never going to find an entire hour's worth of great videos knowing that you're going to laugh the whole time for everybody. You go on the internet and you start searching for videos, you don't know where you're going to end up.
It's true. That's the best answer.
So well said. Thank you so much for joining us, Alfonso. We're going to go ahead and get Erica.
Erica, you want to say goodbye?
Yeah.
Put on some Sade and give her a dark room. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
DBL Nation.
Bye, girl.
America's Funniest Home Videos Sunday nights on ABC. Thank you, Alfonso. We'll be right back.
That was amazing.
All right.
Thanks, man.
The Medicare enrollment deadline is only weeks away.
Veterans Day and Memorial Day both honor those who served our country, with one main difference. Memorial Day honors military members who have died, while Veterans Day recognizes the service and sacrifice of all America's veterans. Then there's the date. Memorial Day changes because it's observed on the last Monday in May. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is always November 11th. Here's why. Veterans Day originally came out of World War I. Although the war technically ended with the Treaty of Versailles, the fighting stopped months earlier. The Allied nations and Germany agreed to a truce that took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month back in 1918. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th Armistice Day. In 1926, Congress made a formal declaration calling for a celebration of peace. 28 years later, Congress changed the name to Veterans Day, making sure it honored all American veterans, not just those who served in World War I. And that's connecting the dots. For 9 years more.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control? There's no such thing as guns. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day. We've got the sweetest deals from our friends at Morning Save. You're not going to believe the incredible discount Steph showed Tori earlier. Check it out. All right, what do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey Tori, I have got some wonderful products and even better deals, and I can't wait to share them with you. So first up, we've got Had a Neon stainless steel personal blender deal. So it includes one blender, 2 different blending cups, and 2 travel lids. So you can take your drink with you to the gym, to the office, or anywhere while you're out and about. And the blender features 3 adjustable speeds and a suction cup feet. That means it's going to keep it really secure on your counter.
Wow.
So normally it's $53.
Okay.
Yeah, but we've got it, Tori, for only $25, saving our viewers 53%.
Guys, this is such a good present for any outdoorsy person.
Isn't this great?
Or anyone in a small apartment. It's such a good price, great product.
Now, Tori, it's time to get your teeth clean with Fairy Will Electric Toothbrush Duo Set, where you will get 2 bases, 8 brush heads, 2 interdental heads, and 2 cases. So this set has a 2-minute smart timer that pauses every 30 seconds, which will give you a dentist recommended clean every time.
Nice.
It's got 5 high-performance brush modes that suit everyone's teeth and gums, even those that have got some sensitivities.
Yeah.
And the blue indicator bristles will remind you when it's time to replace your brush head. But you won't be running out anytime soon, because these brush heads will last you 3 months each.
Wow.
So normally it's $100.
Okay, I mean, that's still good.
But we've got it, Tori, for only $49, which means our viewers save up to 51%. Now, this next product is absolutely genius. It is a 2-pack of Estelle Rechargeable Vanity Lights.
Whoa.
So this deal includes 2 vanity lights with 2 USB cords and 2 suction cup holders. So you can pick, look at this, you ready? You can choose how how bright you want it.
Oh, this is good for getting your makeup done.
Oh yeah, this is great. So normally it's as much as $46.
Okay, kind of pricey.
But
bit.
now it's $19.
Oh, that's great.
Saving 59%.
Can I be honest? I wish I had thought of this product because it's just the suction cups that you could take it anywhere, a hotel,
anywhere.
If you're staying over at like your boyfriend's or partner's like house, brilliant product, great price.
Okay, and last, but certainly not least, we've got double dip fall or holiday nail dip starter kit.
Oh, I love dip.
I know, so you'll get 6 dip powders for your DIY nails, as well as applicators to make this a professional salon look. So great nails are as simple as coat, dip, file, and shine. That's all you need to do to become your new favorite nail technician. And they last for weeks and require no maintenance, and they can even help strengthen your nails. Normally, these are as much as $90, which is the cost of going to the salon.
I was going to say, that's exactly the salon cost, yes.
But we've got it, Tori, for $35, saving 61%.
Oh my Lord, if you guys don't know, everyone gets dip now. We used to get gel, now I know it's dip, and it really does last way longer.
Oh yes.
That'll save you in the long run.
And I think as well, this might look like a small pot, but this pot will last you
forever.
Oh my gosh,
forever.
So many times. And when you have dip on your nails, it lasts for, like I said, weeks.
It's crazy good, guys.
This set is quite the must-have if you are into doing your nails.
Very good. For any like people who are into makeup, fashionistas out there, great gift. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. Again, thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Diabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 American adults are pre-diabetic, but the CDC says more than 84% of those people don't know they have it. A simple blood sugar test will tell you if you're pre-diabetic. The problem is many people aren't getting tested for it. Dr. Griffin Rogers, director of the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive, and Kidney Diseases at the NIH, says undiagnosed and untreated prediabetes can develop into even worse health conditions.
If you have prediabetes, within the next 5 to 10 years, you have a 50% chance of developing frank diabetes.
If patients aren't getting tested for prediabetes, then is there another way for people to know if they're pre-diabetic? Let's verify. Our sources are the CDC, the American Diabetes Association, Dr. Michael Berry, Vice Chair of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, and Dr. Griffin Rogers. Our sources say the short answer is no. There's not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. But according to the CDC, some people are more at risk for prediabetes than others, including being 45 years or older, having a parent, brother, or sister with type 2 diabetes, and or being physically active less than 3 times a week. According to the American Diabetes Association, quote, there are no clear symptoms of prediabetes, so you may have it and not know it. But before people develop type 2 diabetes, they almost always have prediabetes, unquote.
The task force recommends that for adults aged 35 to 70 who have overweight or obesity, that they be screened for diabetes and prediabetes.
So we can verify, no, there is not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. So if you want to know, just ask for a test at your next appointment. With your Verify, I'm Adiande Till.
There is, it's a palpable sense of urgency this year among employers who are looking for seasonal workers.
This year, employers are trying hard to convince you to work for them. Want proof? Just look at jobsiteindeed.com. More than 10% of seasonal job postings there mention urgently hiring. Last year, those words only appeared on 1% of postings. Workers are still in short supply. Some are taking their time getting back into the workforce after either getting laid off during the pandemic or quitting. And frankly, it pays to be choosy. If you're looking for a side hustle this holiday, keep an eye out for how an employer is sweetening the pot. Amazon, for example, is offering a signing bonus of $3,000 in some locations, plus an extra $3 an hour for working certain shifts. The bottom line, do your research and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. The extra money you make will help. The holiday season will be more expensive because of product shortages, among other things. And that's connecting the dots.
Tomorrow on DBL, a mother is sex trafficked for 5 years. How she escaped this horrifying nightmare.
This can happen to me. It can happen to anyone.
Plus, our red carpet interview with 50 Shades of Grey star Jamie Dornan. What made him break out singing?
Never be denied.
Everlasting love.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back. So, Jeff, we got a photo for you.
For me?
Yep.
I thought we were going to roast Eric.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
You like it.
No, I would separate myself from her. I would let her do her thing.
She might separate.
Oh, you do the same thing.
Look at the one on, yeah.
What are you talking about? My hand's in my pocket in the last one.
No, the left one you did.
Erica blushed for Alfonso Ribeiro.
Every day. Bye, guys.